All right, my name is Taya Ashley. I'm your host. I'm super excited to be your host today, and it's an honor to, welcome you all to the Beyond the Hustle Summit, broadcasting live from Maryland, United States, powered by the Center for Real Impact. This is a global audience, and we want to give a special shout out, to our online audience joining from multiple cities across the world. So for those watching online, thank you for joining. You're welcome. We have our eyes on the chat here. Let us know where you're watching from, and we could give a shout out to your city. And again, for those who are here on site, thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to be giving a brief introduction, and then we're getting straight into the first keynote session. I mean, when we come for seminars or summits like this, a number of things can happen. But one thing that we're sure about for today's event is it's a robust combination of learning, laughter, and readings. Like, you're going to have so much fun while learning, and at the same time, there'll be opportunities for networking. So the counsel or the challenge is, as much as possible, do not leave without meeting somebody new or finding out something about somebody that you don't know. Let me disturb us a bit. Can we celebrate ourselves again for being here this morning? All right, just a few house rules before we get into the first keynote session. We have officials all around the room this morning. We all have them with the Real Platform outfit. If you have any questions or need clarifications whatsoever, please reach out to them, and they will be more than willing to help. Shortly, we're going to be having the QR code for the event schedule showing on the screen, just to increase our anticipation. When you know what's coming next, it's super exciting, and it kind of, lifts up the energy. So, yep, that's the QR code right there. So if you're here with your phones, of course, that's everybody. Just scan the code, and then you have the link to the event schedule. Also, we want to recommend, as much as possible, ensure that our devices are on silent, because this is being broadcast live across the world. Various cities are joining us, so we don't want to be distractions to other participants or even the speakers. So that is very important. Also, we have restrooms out on the hallway. So once you just walk out of the space, you could turn to your right, and then we have the male and female restrooms as well. We also would recommend that we reduce movements as much as possible. It can be distracting. Even while sitting, I'm pretty much anxious, as you could tell, not to talk about moving. So let's try and be our brother's keeper. Very helpful. Finally, before we get into the first session this morning, the summit is being broadcast live on our YouTube page at Official Real Platform. So it will be important if you could help share the link. Probably you invited someone or they couldn't make it down here. Just go on Official Real Platform on YouTube and share the link. It would be great to have a global audience in the house this morning. I trust that we're going to have a super exciting time. Take notes. Of course, that's why we made those notepads for you. Take notes, ask questions. Towards the end or sometime in the middle of the event, we're going to have a Q&A session. And so while this first speaker is speaking, or the second speaker, or a question pops up in your head, take note of those questions, because eventually we'll have the room for those questions. I know I've said a lot of things, but I'll be back to remind us in case we have forgotten some of these things. So we're going to be having a short video about the Center for Real Impact, just sharing about the mission, the vision, and essentially what it's about. And then right after that, we'll have the introduction for the first speaker. Again, thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome to the Beyond the Hustle Summit, and we hope it will be worth your while. We promise that it will be worth your while and worth every minute of it. Thank you so much, and enjoy.
Our vision is to be an international center where change agents are raised and released for global impact. Our mission is to create a platform for inspiring, educating, and empowering people to maximize their existence and life. We run our system based on these core values: diligence, readiness, excellence, accountability, and mentoring.
Hanley Joe Komolafe, KJK as he is fondly called, is the lead strategist of the KJK Development Systems, a leadership, strategy development, and peak performance consulting organization. He is also the founder of the Center for Real Impact International, a non-government organization that bridges the gap between the dream realization of her audience. A distinguished, multidimensional, and seasoned speaker, leadership, and peak performance strategist who has over 20 years built relevance from a humble beginning. He places premium on the art of development and mastery and strongly believes that anyone, any organization, or nation can become her dream if key skills are fostered. His passion for human capital advancement and as a resourceful speaker in diverse areas of human needs and cogent matters has given him several opportunities to take keynote sessions, speak and facilitate programs at various platforms, conferences, organizations, cities, and groups. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm, real platform welcome with a round of applause to Kunle Joe Komolafe.
Thank you. You will have my daughter, and you will have half of my wealth. And so they went into the city, rang the bell, called the attention of everyone. And then they all came for the party. That night, the king called all the eligible men by the poolside and told them that The competition I have for you guys is this. I'm going to count to 3, and I expect that every one of you will jump into this pool and swim from this end to the other end. Whoever wins this swimming competition will have all these that I have promised. And then all the guys, took off their clothes, the ones with the 6 packs, the ones with the packs, and the ones with the 1 pack like me. We're all like, this is easy. And then while he was saying that, all of a sudden, they saw a crocodile lift up his head from the pool, and then they were like, what's this? I ain't doing this. And then before they could even continue having that conversation, another crocodile raised up his head. And then all the guys in the pool, around the pool, told themselves, nope, I'm not going to risk my life for this one. No, I'm not going to do that. And then they began to turn back. All of a sudden, they had a splash in the pool. In there. And themselves, who is this foolish man that would jump into the pool that has crocodiles? And then before you knew what was happening, the guy battled with all the crocodiles in the pool, and then before you knew what was happening, he was out there at the other side of the pool. Came out and panting. And everybody in surprise looked at him and was wondering that, how did you do it? What happened? He rushed towards the king, everybody thinking that he was going to the king to give the king a hug, that I won this competition. But lo and behold, he jacked the king, and then the security guys came all over wanting to get him off, bodyguards. And then the king said, leave him alone. I was panting. He was panting. He said, why? Why are you doing this, king? He said, I want to know that devil. I want to know that man who pushed me into this pool. Isn't that the story of life? That a lot of us several times, and guess what? The crocodiles in the were the king's pets. They can't harm because he took out all the teeth. They were just there to play with the king and play with anyone who jumps into the pool. And guess what? This guy did it without even knowing. In life, there will be several crocodiles. And that's what I say. From every city, from every nation, from every audience that I go speak to, I tell them, all you need to do is to dare to jump into the pool. 2 things will happen. It's either the crocodiles bite you, get you off life, or they play with you. But most often, these crocodiles that we try to avoid are toothless. And in the next sessions that we will be hearing from Abraham, from Heidi Kabasa, you will find out from the stories of these people, from my story, from some of your story, when you start talking, when we have interactive sessions, you will find out that most often, all you need to do is to jump into the pool. And that's what we represent here at the Center for Real Impact. We push people into the pool. That's what we do. All over the world tonight, this morning, all over the world, tonight afternoon, from everywhere in the world, from London, from England, from Germany, from Dubai, from Nigeria, everyone connected watching us this morning. We have stories cut across. People who never knew they could dare stuffs have dared and they have succeeded. We have hundreds of stories cut across. And that's what we represent here. Our vision, very quickly, like you have read, is to become a global institution where change agents are raised and released for global impact. And our mission is creating a platform like this. And afterwards, when Tyre comes up, you would hear a lot of things that we have in store. We have masterminds coming. We have a lot of events that we'll be putting together, coffee night, fireside, where we'll be discussing several things. Our mission is to create this platform for inspiring, educating, and empowering people like you and I to maximize your existence in life. Maximize your existence in life. And our core values. Our core values is from the acronym DREAM. DREAM. The first is diligence, readiness, excellence. You know, people came in and went, wow, this is good, this is good. That's what we represent. That in everything that you find yourself doing, you want to be diligent doing them. You want to have the spirit of readiness. You want to have the spirit of excellence. You want to be accountable. And then one of the things that we do is also provide mentorship. We mentor each other. We guide each other. We support each other. We push each other. I'm sure you got that. Now, I was speaking somewhere recently, and I told them, I said, have you ever seen a tricycle pulling a 20-tire truck before? A tricycle pulling a 20-tire truck before. And everyone started laughing. That's not possible. It's not possible. Isn't that how a lot of people live their lives? You have visions, you have dreams, you have had desires. You want to attain, you want to achieve, you want to scale. But then, do you have capacity to pull this dream through? A lot of people are like the tricycle, trying to pull a 20-tire truck. Doesn't happen that way. I would always say that if you eat what giants eat, one day you will become a giant. One day you become a giant. Show me a man who is consistently building capacity, and I'll show you a man in the next few years who is limitless. Who is limitless. Several years ago, 2000, 2001, 2002, we had this dream to be all over the world. I'm sure I have people who were in that room that day when we were talking about days like this. And it looked like we were just joking. But today, here we are. Here we are. And we're just started. Build capacity. Why hustles? Why are we talking about hustles? We've taken this beyond the hustles. We took it to Africa. We took it to London. We took it to Dubai. Now we're in the US talking about. So every year we come up with a theme and we take it all over the world. This year our focus is talking about hustles. Why hustles? Why hustles? And I want you to begin to think, I know we're talking to adults, very intelligent people, mature people. I want you to have a mental picture of the things that we'll be discussing today. Why hustles? A lot of people are hustling because of the fear of failure. Because of the fear of the unexpected. We look at our kids and we tell ourselves that I need to build a future for these children. We look at where we are coming from and we tell ourselves, I don't want to end there. We look at our parents, we look at our siblings, and we tell ourselves, nope, my story has to be different. And that's why you're doing what you're doing today. I said that hustle typically means or refers to the act of working hard. The act of working hard. And that's what we all do. Everybody here in the years, we work really hard. When we pass the microphones around now, you'll be shocked. Some people here worked until 2 a.m. this morning. Some people are going to leave here to work. Working hard. An extra effort that we put into achieving a thing. An extra effort that we put into achieving it. So, why hustles? Again, I said people hustle for financial stability. People hustle for success and for growth. People hustle to change narratives. Talked about the fact that you look at your kids, you look at where you're coming from, you look at your parents, you look at the future. You want to change the narratives. Why do people hustle? Why do you hustle? And that's the first thing I want you to do tonight or this morning on your notepads. Write the reason why you are hustling. So we didn't just give you the notepads because we want you to have something to go home with. No, you need to take notes. Why? Why am I hustling? Joe, why are you hustling? Why are you working really hard? Until you are able to define it, you may not be able to chart your course, chart your way towards it. Define it. Define it. Why do I need to work hard? Why am I working hard? Why should I work hard? To change the narratives. I said that there is a major difference between having and knowing. It's a major difference between having and knowing. It's one thing to have, it's another thing to know. Most of the time, people hustle to have. Right? You want to buy the big house, you want to drive in the best of cars, you want to go to the best of sports for vacation. So everybody, most of the people that we meet, hustle because they want to have. But there's a place of knowing before having. When you have and you do not know, over time, your having will shrink to the level of your knowing. It will shrink over time. Give it some time. It will eventually shrink to the level of your knowing. So I always tell people, before you begin to have, know. And if you have before knowing, then catch up with your knowing so that your having does not shrink to the level of your knowing, of your having. It's very important. It's a major, major difference. And I would always say that having without knowing is like a body system that has no strong skeleton or bones. It's just walking. So you can imagine a body that doesn't have strong skeleton, a body that doesn't have strong bones. You just keep, every time you just keep waggling and waggling. Today you are up, tomorrow you are down. Today you are like, oh my God, I have $150,000 in my account. I have $1 million in my account. And then in the next 6 months, you is like, hey guy, can I get $1,000 from you? It's Happy New Year. And you look at your bank account and you have $350,000. And then in April, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hey, can I get $1,500 from you? What happened between January and April? It's a knowing problem. It's a knowing problem. A lot of people are suffering from this problem, but they do not know because we're in a country. We're here. We have access to everything. Right? But we do not have access to everything. Having without knowing is like a body without a strong skeleton or bone. I've said this several times as well, that what you know is what gives you an edge in life. Are we together? What you know, even in your profession, it's what you know. I say this jokingly, I remember I was in an interview panel. I'm in the IT space, and I remember they were asking me, so tell us about how did you get into this space? And then I was talking to them about the fact that I'm an immigrant, and then the first job I did when I came into the U.S. was physical security. So I put on the white uniforms and then the boots, and then I welcome, open the doors and all that. And then now I'm in the cyberspace. Between physical security and cybersecurity is knowledge. Now, a few months ago, sir, some of my colleagues back then called me and asked me that, Joe, it's been a while. Can we get to meet and all that? I said, well, sure. I mean, bills on me. And they were like, what happened? Where are you? What do you do? And then I asked them, what do you do? They're still there. They're still there. So between that now, it's a knowing. Your future is limitless if you step up your knowing. Are we together? If you step up your knowing, your future is limitless. The Bill Gates still want to make more money. The Zacks want to still make more money, right? And then the you too wants to still make more. So the difference between you and them, but you know. And then I asked myself that the guys or whoever came up with the word knowledge is kind of smart. Do you know that spell knowledge on your notepad? Just we're going to have it now. Know, then the L, and then edge. I mean, don't mind me. It's just playing with words here. What you know, the L is like breaking the two words. What you know, slash, gives you an edge. What you know gives you an edge. Can you say that to yourself this morning? Say, what I know, gives me an edge. Come on now, what I know, gives me an edge. Good. So, daring to go beyond hustles will affect a good number of things, which I want to talk about quickly. Going beyond the hustles will affect what you do. Some of us might need to change what we do if you will go beyond hustling. You need to change what you do. Some of us need to change where we go. If we will live beyond the hustles, I know this may come really hard, but we're not here to party. We're here for transformation. We're here for change. Then one of the speakers, my friend, asked me earlier, during the week that should I go really hard? I said, go as hard as you want to go. That's why we're here. So Fridays we could go party, but right now we're partying here. We're here for serious business. If you will dare to go beyond hustles, friends, it will change some of the things that you do. It will change some of the places that you go. It will affect your company, the friends that you keep. Because I tell people that your friends will determine your end. Again, let's play with the words. Let's play with words again, like we did for knowledge. Friend. What's the last day of the week? It's Friday. How do you write Friday? Fri. And then your Friday will be determined by the friends that you keep. By the friends that you keep. It's going to affect your company. And it's going to even affect the things that you say. Come on now, friends. It's going to affect some of the things that you say. Listen, we're a product of words. Are we together? Yes, sir. We are a product of words. And then also, if you will dare to go beyond the hustles, it will affect what I call your PD drive. Your PD drive, I call your personal development drive. Before I was 30, I read over 1,000 books. Believe me, over 1,000 books. He's here. I've introduced him to a few of you. He's a childhood friend. He's here. I've read over 1,000 books. Preparing for a day like this and for the future. Read all kinds of manner of books as though I'm preparing for an exam. So when I talk today, it just flows from the reservoir. If you will go beyond the hustles, it's going to change what? Number one, what you do what? What you do. Number two, is going to change what? And number three, is going to change what? And then number four? And then the Personal development drive. Let's go. So to give your hustle meaning, you have to a few things which we want to talk about very quickly as I wrap up the keynote. It's going to change, or if you want to give your hustle a meaning, you have to be, number one, you have to hustle with a purpose. Hustle with a what? You don't just wake up and just hit the road and just start doing stuff. Hustle with a purpose. Earlier on, we defined what hustle means, right? So you can put it in there. Hustle with a purpose. Dr. Miles Monroe, one man who influenced me at a very tender age, I was 16, and back then in the city of Kano in Nigeria, in West Africa, my dad would give me stipends. Go get yourself this, and I'll go to the bookstores and buy books, go to the what we call bus stops. We have bus stops back in Africa, and then in those bus stops you have guys that would sell fairly used books. Come on now. So I buy those books. But then I bought his books, Understanding Your Potential, Releasing Your Potential, Maximizing Your Potential. I read those like I was going to, because I was running from something. And that's what we started from earlier, right? That you hustle because you are running from something, and you are running into something as well. He said, where purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. Where purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. It's inevitable. Show me a place where you see abuse, and I will show you a place where purpose has not been defined. Think about it. Think about it. And then I said that what is purpose? Actually, let's even define what purpose is. Is the original intent of a thing. That's purpose. The original intent of a thing. And then that connects us back to what I was saying before. Knowledge, what you know, gives you an edge. So don't just hustle aimlessly. Don't just work hard aimlessly. Work hard with purpose. Purpose. Stop running from something and forget what you are running towards. Stop running from something. Every one of us are here. We're running from something. You have to define what you are running away from. You have to define what you are running away from. That's purpose. So two things here jumps at me. Defining what I'm running away from, it differs. When we pass the microphone across to everyone in the audience today, you will find out that what you are running away from, sir, is different from what you are running away from, ma'am. Even though you're a couple, you'll be shocked. There could be some similarity somewhere, but there will still be some difference. So what are you running away from, and what are you running to? Now, when you can define that, the gap between it, I think is in business analysis, they talk about gap analysis or something. So this is what I'm running away from. This is what I'm running to. So what do I do? What's the bridge here? And that's what we represent here at the Center for Real Impact. We have been a bridge to many lives, to many organizations, to many individuals for the past 19 years and some months counting now. Hustle with what? Number two, hustle with a plan. Hustle with a plan. And when you want to put these plans together, you're asking yourself questions like what? Like why? How? How much would it cost me? What will it cost me? Because every prize comes with a prize. Every P-R-I-Z-E, right, comes with a P-R-I-C-E. So you're asking yourself what, how, when, where, who? Who do I need? Who do I need? I remember when I wanted to cross into the cyberspace, I had to start asking questions. I called my friend. He pushed me into it, though. You know, but I'm excited about it today. One of my tutors are here, too, as well. You know, pushed me into it. Accurately defining, intentionally defining where you want to go. See, friends, what's going to be is not going to be. You know that song, right? What's going to be is going to be. What goes up must come down. Not always. Not always. Sometimes it does, but not always. And then, Joe, how do we do this? If you come into my office, little office, even from when we were just in a small room, I'm a man of people. When I say people, autobiographies, biographies, I read a lot of that. And then I'm also a man of paper. Me writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. About 4 a.m. this 3 a.m.-ish this morning, one of our leaders back in Africa sent me a message and I'm like, "You're still awake?" Still awake. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm running through the program." I said, "How do you mean running through the program?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to start the program in my room and I'm going to finish it in my room. And then I'll walk into a finished product." So right now, all of you are here, you are in a finished product. I know you may not understand it, but you're in a finished product. This meeting took place before now. Everything that you see in this world is created twice. Everything is created twice. But we don't want to dig deep into that. When we start having our mastermind sessions, which we're going to announce in a bit, we'll have mastermind sessions every quarter. If you sign in to join the mastermind class, which is free for today, you understand we're going to be digging deeper into some of these things. Learn to plan with pen and paper. Learn to plan with pen. It doesn't have to be paper like this paper sheet. It could be your phone. It could be, the world has gone. It could be whatever tool you want to use. But make sure, like I would always say, never start a week that you have not ended. Never start a day. These are principles that guys who intentionally become successful walked by. They lived by it. They lived by it. Learn to plan with pen. Never start a day. I think it was Bill Gates. I was watching one of his videos on YouTube, and they mentioned something in this line. These guys are intentional about their lives. Never start a day that you haven't ended. How do I mean? Plan. Things could happen. Events could change it. But play your own part first. Do your own first. Number 3. Hustle with what? Hustle without pressure. Hustle without pressure. And when I say pressure, I mean peer pressure. Your friends. Oh, he just bought a Lamborghini. I have to buy a Lamborghini. He just bought a house. I have to buy a house. Oh my God, she wears the best of designers in the world. I have to wear the best of the designers. I ain't doing that. I don't know about you. No competition. The only person I'm competing with, myself. Myself. I think it was some 19 years ago-ish. No, more than 19 years ago. I think I was just about 18. I read a book called Millionaire Next Door. I read that book like 4 times. And I told myself, I want to be that millionaire next door. You're going to walk past me and you wouldn't even know I have money. But when it's time to show, then we show. Where we need to show and when we need to show. With a reason to show. Not just showing because you want to make someone laugh or make someone excited. For what? Why should I do that? Hustle without pressure. Peer pressure, family pressure, self-imposed pressure. Some of us, our greatest enemies, or our greatest enemy, is that man or that woman that you see in the mirror. That's where it starts from. Just stare at the mirror. That's one of your greatest enemies. Self-imposed pressure. I call it keeping up with the Joneses. Say with me, no more. Not me. Come on, I'll say it louder. Say no more.
No more.
Not me.
Not me.
Number 4. Hustle with prudence. Be a value-driven person. Be a value-driven person. Be intentional about your life. Don't lose it at all costs because you want to have it all. Don't lose it at all costs because you want to have it all. Hustle with prudence. Be a value-driven person. I'm very big on value. Very big on value. Intentional about everything. If you find me being stupid, I'm intentionally stupid. Believe me. If you find me doing foolish things, I am intentionally doing foolish things. Be intentional about every action, every word, every move. That's how men who successfully hustle beyond behaves. Number 5. Running out of time now. So there are a few things I want to recommend we begin to do right now before I take my seat, and then we have our first speaker. This is just a keynote session. Few things I want to recommend, just personally recommend to us, having been doing this for a while. And the first thing is this. I would want to recommend that you have a unique identity. Have a unique identity. And how do you answer that? You want to answer the question, who am I? Who am I? There are a few people, you know, I love to be around them when they talk. They don't even know a whole lot of sense to me. There are a few of them. And some of them are in the hall today. Like Barrister Lion, you know, Abraham, just a few people. When they open their mouth to talk, they make a whole lot of sense without even knowing. Who are you? Define yourself. By yourself for yourself. And that's why we have the notepad. So you can begin to ask, I don't know if some of us saw the video that ID Kabasa did. It was on my status, and then I put it on social media where he said, this event would bring questions that will lead to another question that will give questions, right? So the purpose of this event is not really to provide answers, but to make you begin to ask yourself certain questions. Because every answer we want from life is in the question that we are yet to ask ourselves. Let me say that again. Every answer you want from life is in the questions that you are yet to ask yourself. So, welcome to the set of questions. Who are you? Number 2. Understand there's a prize for every prize. I already said that before. So, just understand that. For every level you want to attain, the question is this: pay the price. In a few minutes from now, we'll be talking a little bit about finances, money, and all that. Just laying the foundation, and we'll take it up, you know, when we start the mastermind sessions after now. If your goal is to have $100 million in the next 5 years, what you just did is to set a price, or a prize, right? Now, the question is this, sir and ma'am, are you ready to pay the $100 million prize? Someone said, oh, when he came in, he saw me, oh, you've slimmed, you've reduced. I'm like, I'm not even there yet. I'm still struggling. I still want to go much more than this. Like, if I wore this t-shirt last year, it's not even going to go into me, really. I'm not even going to be able to wear it anyway. And then I had some crisis, and then I had to start talking about checking my health, and then I have to start doing, he knows about it. And I have to start working on my health, and I have to start doing certain things. That's the price I have to pay for the prize. So it's not even just about money alone. It's about your education. It's about your profession. You know, I got a promotion at my office, and then I became a program manager, team leader, and then to me that by this time next year, we want you to have blah, blah, blah certification. So for that prize, I got to pay. So, and stop running around and shouting prizes if you are not ready to pay the price. Number 3. Yeah, because the higher we go, the stiffer it gets. I said that. It costs time, it costs relationships, it costs staying indoors to read, to rest, for your health, for money. Number 3. I talked about Newton's law. I can't talk about that anymore. Is that every object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled. Change. Right? Unless compelled. Don't wait. Don't be a wheelbarrow. You know what a wheelbarrow is? Have anybody seen a wheelbarrow before? Oh, I wish we could have a picture of a wheelbarrow. This thing they used to push stuff. It only moves as far as the pusher pushes it, right? Don't be one. Push yourself. Don't wait until people push you. Don't wait until situations push you. Don't wait until bad health issues push you to become healthy. Don't wait until when foreclosure comes on your house before you know that you need to do something about your job. Don't wait until your kids begin to slap you before you know that you are supposed to train and raise them. Oh. Don't wait until that. Push yourself. Number 3, strategies cannot be overemphasized in this situation. A lot of us hope a lot. I hope one day. Stop hoping. Hope without strategies is building a house without a strong foundation. It's going to fall someday. I hope. I want to call some countries back in Africa. So, living on hope and hope and hope without strategies. Yes. Strategies cannot be overemphasized. Time will not permit me to talk a little bit about strategies. Can we just move the slide so we can, move on? Hope. I said hope is essential to success. It's good to hope, but don't stay with hope. Don't stay with hope. It's good to hope, but don't stay with hope. Succeeding beyond hope needs the engagement of strategy. Someone wants to write that down. Succeeding beyond hustles needs the engagement of strategies. So the big question again today is this: what is your strategy for that which you hope for? What's your strategy as you walk out of here today? Start thinking. What are the strategies? So in one of our master classes, all we'll be discussing will be strategies. Most likely that would be during the summer next year, when we call for those who would sign up for the master class. In the summer next year, we'll be discussing strategies. This year, the winter, in December, the master class session will hold, and we'll be discussing budgeting, financial budgeting for 2024 in the master class. Like you set a budget for yourself, and we would follow through with you. Those marks. Let's move to number 4 quickly because we don't have all the time. Time-bound your hustles. Time-bound your hustles. Time-bound your hustles. Stop wrestling with the wind. Stop running a race without stops. Put a time to your hustle. By this time, I should be this. I should have this. By this time, I should have that. What is working for me? What is not even working? You want to time bound your hustles. What time will do for you, it will help you measure your progress. Help you. So by December this year, I'm asking myself, based on the time that I have put on things, have I been able to hit my hustle plan? My hustle plan. So time bound your hustle. Number 5, listen to your intuition. Listen to your accountability partner. Listen to your mentors, if you have one. One of the things that we will be doing at the mastermind sessions is accountability. We want to be accountable to each other. Number 6, we don't have all the time anymore. Ensure consistency. Someone sent me a message earlier this morning and said, in his words, he just wrote, "You are mad." And he's a good friend, so I understand what he's trying to say. Like I said, we've been doing this for 19 years plus. And so when he saw the flyers, he said, "You are mad." Then he went on to say, "Your consistency is crazy." And I replied, "We ain't even started yet. We haven't started. We're not using stadiums yet. So we're just using the 60-seater hall. Stadium is the goal. That's the goal." So, my final words to us is, until you get to the palace, don't trust any other place. So the big question today is this: what's your palace definition? Until you get there. Until you get there. Don't trust any other place. Thank you so much. Really good. Thank you. So, you're going to have the mastermind on the screen. We're going to have the QR code of the mastermind on the screen if you want to join. We have, every session we'll be talking about the mastermind, and then you will have the QR codes. Just click it, fill up, your details, and we would get back to you. The United States of America hasn't seen us yet. What this mastermind is going to do, it's going to be mind-blowing. And you would come out of this at the end of the day, and then you would ask, is this really me? Thank you.
Come on, we could do better than that. Can we put our hands together?
Yeah.
All right. That was some powerful session, like so many nuggets that we cannot exhaust or unpack here. I have just one feedback. You know what KJK was speaking? This is me attempting to make you all laugh. So please, I appeal to you, whether it's funny or not, just help me and laugh. So while KJK was speaking, he said stuff about he has friends, people he talks to, and stuff that they say makes sense. He called 2 names. And I know I speak with him, but he didn't call my name. So I want to ask, does that mean when I speak with him I don't make sense, or I'm overthinking it? What do y'all think? All right, that's just an attempt to a joke. But then we have one multiple award-winning, well-traveled superstar comedian in the house who will do a better job at what I attempted to do. That's not my forte at all. Anyways, I was asked to ask, is it hot or cold? Are we okay? The temperature? Good? Hot? Good? Hot? Warm? Can we rig the election? All right, we'll try and make the temperature a little bit better. So right after now, we'll be having a short music interlude by one of our own here in Maryland, United States. But after then, we're also going to have the first session. That was a keynote session by KJK. So then we just ask that you be patient as much as possible. We want also ask that we avoid distractions. Again, our phones on silent so we do not distract each other. The other thing is right after the next session, we're also going to have a tea break / networking session, and then we can have time to stretch our legs at that time. So without wasting much time, can we, with a round of applause, welcome our very own, again, multiple award-winning, energetic, Amazing. I can't find enough words to describe Minister Laddie, who is going to try and push up the atmosphere and energy in the house. Come on, we can do better than that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. My name is Laddie, and I'll just be doing a few songs. Some of the songs were inspired by the hustles, like he said, Beyond the Hustle. And just enjoy the lyrics, enjoy the beat. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just, and we have different races here, so just enjoy it, amen. And God bless you as you do so. So I'll be doing this first one. It says blessings. I did it with the word of renowned Olamide. And Heidi Kabasa in the building produced the beat. So enjoy it, okay? All right, this song says blessings will come your way just as you hustle. Are you ready? It's another one. Let me see, put your hand. Every night and day, every night and day, every night and day, blessings come my way. Anywhere I day, blessings come my way. Now you gotta do this if you're not Oriburuku far away. It says bad luck. Blessings and favor come to stay. No more delay, no more shere cambia. Blessings all the way. Hey, Oriburuku far away. Blessings and favor come to stay. No more delay, no more shere cambia. Blessings all the way. It says, I wanna live la vida loca, just like running from battle. Are you ready? Ori mi ma ṣe sùn, ẹlẹ́dàá mi ma ṣe sùn, kádàrá tó fi fún mi bàbá. Ó yá jẹ́ kó gbéra. Àmì o, gbàrìtì bọ́tọ̀ máa gbá mọ́jọ́. Everything I do begin to grow. Are you ready? Let me see, put your hands there. 1, 2. Blessings come. Oh, yeah, say every night and day, every night and day, every night and blessings come my way. Anywhere I day, blessings come my way. Now you're gonna take it back to sender. Oriburuku far away. No more bad luck. Blessings and favor come to stay. No more delays, no more delays, no more shere cambia. It's time to make money. You will never see bad luck. Blessings and favor come to stay. No more delay, no more shere cambia. Blessings all the way. Bring it up. About blessings and all that, and I hope you enjoyed. Come on, put your hand like this. It is a beautiful day to be alive, right? Yesterday, today we thrive, like the sun, I rise. So my light will shine, at the sound of rain to wash away up. I have the Spirit of God in me. I am more than what your eyes can see. Because I carry grace, me I'm not ashamed. The life of Christ in me, I've changed my story. I drip in glory, no more hope. Lo. I'm a Jesus. Hallelujah. I say lo. Hallelujah. Lo my last. I'm a just lo my last. Oh. Lo my last. I'm a just lo my last. My faith is hooked up to God, on Him I call. when the doubts are free. So I pick up his word, blast out in tongues. His word never fails. Say, oh my God, you see they do me well. You bless me well. Save me from hell. Now I don't look like what I've been through. Are you ready? I have the Spirit of God in me. I am more than what your eyes can see. Because I carry grace, me I'm not ashamed. Oh. The life of Christ in me, I've changed my story. Everybody say lo 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 with me. I can hear you. Say lo, hallelujah, hallelujah. One more time, everybody go. Lo 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 lo. Hey, how much is hallelujah? Tired of giving that. How much is lo, my last? Thank you.
Abraham Ibrahim Jr. is a seasoned entrepreneur and technology enthusiast currently serving as senior executive at Medigo Inc. USA. He is the co-founder of GetZing and Compass. Additionally, he is an accomplished author and investor known for his expertise in various fields and industry. Throughout his career, Abraham Ibrahim Jr. has successfully developed and launched numerous technology solutions, showcasing his skills as a serial entrepreneur. Notably, he played a pivotal role in the co-founding of MyFarmStack.com, Africa's marketplace for agricultural products, solidifying his commitment to innovation in the industry. With over 13 years of experience as an innovator, Abraham possesses a deep understanding of systems, processes, design, development, and automation. His track record speaks for itself, having delivered high-quality solutions in various industries. Beyond his professional achievements, Abraham Ibrahim Jr. is a passionate advocate for motivating leaders to embrace the unknown and navigate the challenges that arise in between. He is also deeply committed to global food security and financial technology, believing in their potential to make a tangible difference in the world. In his spare time, he finds joy in reading and exploring new culinary experiences through cooking and trying diverse cuisines. Abraham is married to Tiffany, and they both reside in Maryland, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm, real platform welcome with a round of applause to Abraham Ibrahim Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, KJK. Appreciate the honor of being on this stage today. To some of you that are judging me already with my outfits, I'm not 21. I'm a little older than 21. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so it's family, so I'll try as much as possible to talk to everybody. So, because today is going to be a little uncomfortable. So before we get to the uncomfortable part, let's settle that we're family, right? Are we good? Yeah. Are we good? Yeah. I need, really? We have more than 10 people here, so really, are we good? Yes. Okay, so the first thing first. I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. I tell uncomfortable jokes. So if you don't like my jokes, we have a comedian here that will make you laugh. But I try as much as possible to kind of like, come down to ways where we can relate. Because I'm about to talk about a weird subject called money. And it's very uncomfortable. So I had to set the stage first and say, hey, it's going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to have fun. My goal is to help us win with money. So in order for us to win with money, we have to have uncomfortable conversations. Yeah. So let's start with that. Are we good? Yeah. Okay, it's not a seminar like KJK. KJK was out here spitting fire to everybody, and I was there about to kind of like catch flames. So this is just a workshop section. We're going to have fun. We're going to have great conversation. But for today, I want to talk about financial wellness. A lot of us are very particular about our health. We're very particular about our physical look. We're very particular about our spiritual wellness. But we don't take time to consider this concept called financial wellness. And the unfortunate thing is that our physical well-being, our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being is all dependent on how we win financially. I promise you, if someone gives you $1 million today, 95%, or maybe 95 is too generous, maybe 90% of the problems you have will be solved for a second. Like, you'll feel okay for about an hour or so before you remember the problems. Do we agree with that? So why are we not considering taking care of our financial health? So today, I'm going to expose us to things that I've been doing for the last 7 to 9 years that has helped me win a little bit with my finances. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. I think it's working for me, and I would like to share that with you guys today. Are we good with that? Okay. What is financial wellness? For an agenda today, I have about 6 things I would like to talk about. First of all, I'm going to talk about financial wellness. What are the different kinds of financial wellness? What comes together and contributes to this concept called financial wellness? The second thing I'm going to talk about is the paradox of financial wellness. A lot of us have made a lot of assumptions about money, and I'm here to break it and probably help you to, form new habits, form new behaviors. That's my goal today. Number 3 thing I'm going to talk about is financial wellness. How do you know the signs that you're financially well? You know when you're physically unwell. You know when you're mentally unwell. You know when you are spiritually unwell. How do you know when you're financially unwell? So today we're going to talk about 8 things that, will help you identify, am I financially well or am I not? The next thing I'm going to talk about is there's certain challenges that comes with financial wellness. Take, for example, we'll get to that in a second. There are certain things that, contributes to that. I'm going to talk about the challenges of financial wellness. The last part is what are the elements of financial wellness. There are about 4 things. I'm going to be talking about 1 today. Hopefully we can get through to that in 33 minutes that I have. I saw some statistics recently that kind of like blew my mind. And it's been really, really, really crazy. And it feels like a lot of us don't actually pay attention to some of the data that we see. The first thing is about 65% of working Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Let's get real for a second. 5 in 10 working Americans who earns $100,000 and more are living paycheck to paycheck. Let's go down again. 8 in 10 working Americans who make $35,000 a year and more are living paycheck to paycheck. So that begs the question. Look beside you, you have 10 people in your cluster. If the ratio is 8 to 1, who is the person living paycheck to paycheck close to you? I'm just saying, I said it's going to be uncomfortable, right? I said, well, I warned you guys, right? I did say that. So we know it's going to be uncomfortable. So one of the questions that this comes back to is, and I'll go back to that statistics and open our eyes to something in a second. 5 out of 10 people that make over $100,000 a year, mind you, this is some numbers that we need to pay attention to that would help us think about our relationship with money. The first question, do we all know what defines the middle class in the United States of America? Do we all know what defines the middle class in the United States of America? If you make above $40,000 a year, you are in the middle class. No, I didn't come up with these numbers. The Bureau of Statistics did their research and came up with this number. If you make above $45K a year, you're above the middle class. So why are we living paycheck to paycheck? So the problem is not money. The problem is you. Yeah. The problem is not money. The problem is me. Meaning I don't have a money problem. I have a perception problem. I have a perception problem with money. The majority of us love the concept of having money, but we don't have the why behind why we want all that money. So the concept I'm introducing to us about financial wellness today is, what do you want to do with money? Part of the question that KJK asked earlier was, who are you? As much as you're trying to answer the question about who you are, you need to answer the question, why do I want to make money? How much money is enough? So in the last 7-9 years, I've been opportune to be influenced by 3 people in my life significantly. And I'd like to talk about them and why. First is my late dad. And this story began, when I was younger. My dad was an engineer, was a civil engineer, so he had contracts, he picks projects here. He gets a project, and the project lasts for, say, 2 years, and for about 3 years, he's still waiting until the next contract. We all know how that works, right? Okay, so just giving that background. But in those 3 years, we're good. Lifestyle doesn't change. So how is this man able to get this amount of money? Magically, he's going to complain all the time that there was no money. Well, that's my dad. But in all those time, magic will just happen. Oh, we need this. Okay, I don't have money, but later that day, that thing will be on the table. That's talking in my head. I had a boss about 6 years ago. He's 23. I'm going to intimidate you guys a little bit. He's a millionaire. He lives close here in Laurel. By the way, he lives in an apartment building. Well, let's have that sort of context of the conversation, okay? So, he's 23, John, awesome guy. I was opportune to be the CTO of his firm at the time. And I asked John, I said, hey, what drives you to make all this money? He told me, he said, hey, my dad has, he told me all the story about the dad and all that and how he's been pushing himself and everything and everything. Then I asked him a question. You're a millionaire. You're able to pay me over $100,000 a year. Why are you living in an apartment? As a matter of fact, not a luxury apartment. You're living in an apartment. I work for you, but my apartment is nicer than yours. I work for you, and my car is nicer than yours. It took me on a journey. 4 years ago, I had the privilege of working with a man named Scott Plank, one of the Under Armour brothers. And we were having a conversation. At the time, I've learned from John, and I've made some good decisions, and I've made some progress. And we're having a conversation, and I said, Scott, how did you become a billionaire? And he gave me the story, and I shared some of that with KJK. Yeah. And he gave me the story, and I said, so how did you make it in real estate? He said to me, I'm not going to tell you how I made it in real estate. Go buy 10 properties. When you have 10 properties to your name, let's have a conversation. Okay, so, no, let's not get into that. I need to hold him true to his word. So, we started having a conversation, and Scott was my boss at the time, and we were talking, and Scott was like, so this is how money works. The truth is, you don't really need all those money. And he schooled me and explained to me how it works in America, and I thanked him for it. But one of the things that resonated with me more is Scott will walk into this room, will walk and sit right there, and you're not going to know this guy is a billionaire. That beckons the question, why? What is different about people that make less money? Okay. You got the message. The first thing I want to talk about today is the paradox of financial wellness. A lot of us have made this assumption that if only I can make more money, I'll be fine. Who has said that before? Well, I've said it. I make $50,000 a year. I say, if I make $100,000 a year, if only I can make $100,000 a year, I'll be set for life. No, you won't. Thank you. Notorious B.I.G. said that. That was a joke. My wife is probably smiling that I got that right. The more money you make, lifestyle inflation will come in. I can't be wearing $30 shoes. I can't be wearing a plaid that is, from Amazon. I got to go get some nice design. I love good things. Let's start with that, okay? So let's set that record straight. I love designers. So let's say that. Let's say that. Let's set the record straight, okay? I love good things. Yeah. Part of my financial wellness journey is I need to take care of myself and look good. I don't want to worry when I want to buy something nice for myself and be thinking, oh, can I really afford this? I want to be able to take my wife. Last Saturday was a vacation. Last Saturday was our birthday. By this time, we were at the store, eating the mall. I did the most terrible I listened to the most terrible advice from a friend of mine who told me, whatever your wife wants, give it to her. And I set myself up. I was dumb. Anything she wanted. This lady was picking everything. She said it felt good not to look at the price. She was words for words. I want to be able to make those kind of decisions. That's why I'm on this journey of financial wellness. She said, this is the best birthday of my life. Not even the time I bought her a car. It doesn't count. The paradox of financial wellness. A lot of us have made a lot of assumptions about financial health. We've made a lot of decisions about financial health. That we need to break some of those stereotypes in our mind, to break it. We need to form new habits with money. We need to form a new relationship with money. I want us to think about money as a new girl you're asking out. You put your best foot forward. The money you make, a lot of us don't put it in perspective that every day that you go out to work, you spend 8 hours working. That's 8 hours of your life that you cannot get back. And you invest that money into something that's a depreciating asset. There's a lot of misconception about money. There's a lot of misconception about money. How many of us know that the rate at which people went into debt, I was looking at the statistics about 4 or 5 years ago, and I found out that when credit card and debit card were introduced, when credit and debit card was introduced, that's when the debt of us as country, as a people, went up. Did you know if you had cash in your pocket and you're about to spend those cash, not debit or credit card, the emotion and feeling is different.
Yes, very right.
You spend less when it's cash. But with credit card or debit card, I'll have a swipe it, I'll be fine. If you have cash, there's a different emotion. That's why you need to form a new relationship with your money. You work too hard to do that to yourself. You work too hard to do that to yourself. If you don't change your behavior and your relationship with money, by the time that high income comes, you will be back where you were as if you were making zero, as if you were making less. So you need to change your behavior about money. May I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, the problem you have with money, it's not a money problem, it's a you problem. Financial wellness behind money is just beyond money. It's beyond how much you make. Because if you cannot manage or steward the little you have right now, by the time you make much more, then you start saying stuff like, I don't even know where this money is going to. Of course you know where it's going to. It's going to that designer bag that you don't need. I love good things, okay? So like I said, I buy designer stuffs. Financial wellness is about you having no business living in a community you're living in because you know it's overpriced for you at this point. Financial wellness is about you being able to tell yourself the truth that if I die today, my family is in trouble. Financial wellness is about you telling yourself the truth that if anything happens to me today, I don't have a will, I don't have estate planning, I don't have life insurance. You're not planning to die if you get life insurance. I hope you know that. It's just so you can take care of your family and your responsibility when you're no longer here.
Amen.
Financial wellness means I have a financial planner. Do we all know what a financial planner is? Someone that knows better than you, that can tell you what to do with your money. Someone that has seen it all. Someone that can sit you down and tell you, Abraham, what do you want to achieve in the next 12 years? Oh, yeah, Femi. Oh, yeah, that's, by the way, my financial planner. Smart guy. So, hey, Femi, yeah, I want to have X amount of real estate. And Femi's like, well, we need to cut off on your monthly spending on those blow money. We'll talk about that in a second. And I'm like, yeah, no, Femi, no, don't touch my blow money. Let's see, can we move some things around? What can we? No, Abraham, You need to save more than X amount that you're saving right now. You need to increase the percentage to this. No, Femi, no, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, you can't get what you want. Like KJK mentioned earlier, price and prize. The difference. What are the signs that you're financially well? I'll name 6 or 7, and then we'll go from there. Number 1, you have an emergency savings of emergency funds of about 3 to 6 months. If you lose your job today, will your lifestyle change? If you lose your job today, the average time it takes people to get a job in 2023 is 3 to 6 months. So if you lose your job today, will your lifestyle change? That's one question you need to ask yourself. I'll recommend to you 3 to 6 months of living expense. I'm not talking about luxury. We're going to talk about budgets in a second. Oh, the B word. Living expenses should be stored in an emergency account you don't touch for whatsoever reason. Your car breaking down is not an emergency fund opportunity for you to pull from it. Number 2. I'm looking at my phone because it's getting intense in this room. And, I know I said it's going to be weird, but I didn't know it was going to be this weird, It's the both of us. It's a two-way relationship, okay? It's two-way, You're weird, I'm throwing uncomfortable things. You're giving me the reaction I don't like, Like I said, it's, we're family, right? We're family. Like I said, it's family. We're going to have uncomfortable conversation, but the goal is to make us better. Number 2 is, we all have terrible relationship with debts. A lot of us have mortgages we can afford. We have student loans. We have credit card debts. We have a lot of things. And that is sinking us down. Number 3, living within your means. We are Africans. We like to show off. Number 4, regular savings. You need to regularly contribute to your savings account. You need to regularly have a healthy savings account. Mind you, your emergency fund is different from your savings account. Your savings account is about your future. Your emergency fund if something happens today. Your savings contributes into your retirement plan, your 401k. We can talk a lot about that at a later time. You need to have long-term investment strategy. You need to have your 20 years long-term investment strategy. What do you want to do? That's what a financial planner will do for you. You need to have financial goals. A lot of us run through life with a personal goal. We run with spiritual goals. We run with a lot of goals, but we don't have financial goals. We don't have financial goals. Every year, the last 2 weeks of every year, I'm in this mute called hibernation. If you get access to me, you're lucky. Because the last 2 weeks of the year, I take time off work and everything I do, and I go sit down and say, for the next year, what do I want to do with my family? What do I want to do with my finances? What do I want to do here? Okay, this year, how much did I say I was going to make? Okay, did I achieve it? Why didn't I achieve it? And I plan for the next year so that by the time it's January, I promise you, I execute like a madman. If there's anyone that knows me closely will tell you, Abraham executes like a madman. I execute as if my next paycheck, like my next meal depends on it. I execute and run after it as if I don't do this deal, if I don't get this deal, if I don't... Next thing you need to know if you're financially healthy is you need to have contingency planning. You need to have plans in case something goes wrong. Life be lifing sometimes. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Life be lifing. We need to get to the stage where when life decides to life, we have a backup. Yeah. What are the challenges of financial well-being? Number 1, and as much as possible, I said we're family, so I'm going to be real with us. Inadequate income. The truth is, you can only do but so much with how much you make. That's the truth. You can only do but so much with how much money you make. Number two thing, there's challenges, is lifestyle inflation. Like I mentioned, we're Africans. We like people to know. At my workplace, they know I'm Nigerian, I promise you. Number three thing is, we have too much debt that we can handle. Some of us have, that doesn't sound good, Abraham. It sounded good in my head, but when I was going to say it out, if I say it out, you guys will boo me out of this stage. You want me to say it? I got your permission? Okay.
Say it.
We think debt is a bad thing, okay? I promise you debt is not a bad thing. I'm millions in debt, okay? Let's start with that. Like I said, I'm millions in debt. I don't have student loan. My credit card is probably like $500 or $600. But the debts I have is, my financial planner calls my debts the good kind of debts, right? But a lot of us, we have a lot of debts. If you sit down and look at where your money is going to every month where your money is going to, is going to tell you a lot about you as a person. One of the things I want to challenge you to do at the end of this conference, when you get home, analyze your bank statement today. Your bank gives you your statement every month. Analyze how much you make and where your money is going to. It will tell you a lot about you as a person. You like to tell yourself you're an humble person. I submit to you, you're not. Look at where your money is going to. That will tell you who you are as a person. Lifestyle inflation. We are Nigerians. We like to show off. We neglect estate planning. We don't have a few things. I have 13 minutes, so I have to jump into my next slide, which is, what are the 4 elements of financial well-being? We have 4. 1, spending. We have 2, we have savings. Number 3, we have debts. Number 4, we have planning. Today, I'm going to talk about spending. And I titled it, Controlled Spending. The money you make and you work for every 30 days or every 2 weeks or every 1 week or every day that you make your income is your life. Give yourself the permission to live your life the way you want it. A lot of us make all that amount of money only for it to go into places we don't really care about. When you see your money as your life, you will have a much more different approach to how you handle it. Because once that money goes, you make $50 an hour, you make $100, you make $200 an hour. That's an hour of your life you can get back. Is that bag really worth it? I go on vacation, okay? I'll be honest, I like good things. But I plan for it. 2 months ago, about a month ago, we're somewhere on the ocean, living our best life. The view was good. But I made a choice that my income, that the time I spent working so hard, that's 5-6 days, is worth it. That the 6,000, 8,000 that I spent on that trip was worth it. Controlled spending. Give yourself the permission to spend your money. You work too hard. I promise you, I've been in rooms, I've met people. Africans has the most hardworking set of people in this country. I've been in rooms where I was in a tiny space of healthcare called transplants, the transplant space in healthcare. It's very tiny, but it's good industry for me. And one of the things I realized is that I've met a lot of surgeons, a lot of top surgeons. I've walked into rooms and, this guy in Nigeria. Okay, sorry. It just showed I'm Nigerian, right? I walk into a room and I see people and I was like, wow, the chief of surgery is Nigerian? So I submit to you, the problem is not about working hard. It's your behavior with money. It's your relationship with money. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the word I was going to use earlier. But I remember my wife would tell me not to say that. You need to tell yourself, you need to tell your money where to go. Your money should not control you. The majority of us will let our money control us. Tell your money where to go. Don't let your money direct you. Don't let your money tell you this is the direction to go. Let's talk about setting and tracking your spending. But before we talk about that, that's the B word I mentioned earlier that we all don't like. Nobody likes the B word. Do we all know the B word? Budget, right? Who likes it? Who likes being told what to do? Not me. Right? Does anyone here like being told what to do? I don't like it. There are about 5 myths I want to break today about budgeting. Number one is a lot of people will say to themselves and say, when I make plenty money, because I make plenty money, I don't need a budget. Okay, let's see how that goes. Budgeting is too restrictive. It's not. I can tell you that. I can do a budget in my head. No, you can't. You'll get back home and realize, ooh, I spent $150 more than I needed. I budget by keeping track of everything I spend. That's not budgeting. That's simple accounting. Because you wrote everything you spent down, that's not a budget. That's you writing down that, okay, I spent XYZ amount of money. That's not budgeting because you might have spent more than you made at that point. Number 3, there are always unexpected expenses. So why do I need to budget? Like I said, life be lifing. Budget for your emergency fund. Budget for your savings. So when life lives, you have some way out. 4 things, there are 4 ways, there are budgeting, there are ways to budget, and I'll talk about one way that I like, that I use, that I would recommend to you, and then we'll go from there. 4 things. Number 1, there is a 50-30-20 rule of budgeting. First thing, 50% should be your needs, 30% should be your wants, and 20% should be your savings. I'll submit to you, shoot for 35% in savings, because inflation is going so high, so I'll recommend to you 35% in savings. Number 2 method, zero-based budgeting. Everything, every dollar must be accounted for. Another budgeting method is the reverse budgeting method. The next one is 60% solution. I'll talk to you about the zero-based budgeting today, and I'll take questions. All right. Zero-based budgeting means that every single dollar you make is accounted for. So a lot of us budgeting is restrictive. I have blow money every month. My wife has blow money every month. My blow money, if I choose to spend all my blow money on a nice wristwatch or on a bracelet or on a shoe, that's my business. That's the decision I made that I worked for 30 days, and this is what I choose to spend it on. 0%, $0 budget. What does that mean? You have to sit down with yourself. And the first question I want you to ask yourself is this. For Abraham to survive in a month, what are the things I need? I'll repeat that. For Abraham to survive a month, what are the things that I need? 4 things are recommended. Every other things are luxury. Food, shelter. Did you notice I started with food? Because an hungry man, your words. I would say it differently and say an hungry man is an unfocused man. Because when you're hungry, you don't think about anything. Your brain goes into, I can talk to you about all the chemicals and how that work for a second, but once you're hungry, your brain goes into the flight or fight mode, which is, I need something. That's when the animal nature in you comes out. Food, shelter, basic utilities. Phone is not a basic utility. Car is not a basic utility, except if that's your source of income. Are we tracking? Like I said, I'm very realistic. I drive a semi-nice car, okay? But I plan for it. Say that again? Basic needs. You have to sit down. The definition of Abraham's basic needs is different from you. It's different from Ibrahima. I met him in the elevator. I remembered his name. Abraham's basic need is different than KJK's basic need. You need to sit down and figure out what is your basic need. Part of my basic need every month is paying my mother a salary. Okay? Does she need it? No. That I believe in that. So I do it. It's basic for me. I don't compromise on it. So you need to sit down and analyze your personal self and say, every month, what is my basic? And your basic should not be more than 45% of your income. Do we know that you shouldn't be paying over 25% of your income on renting a property? Do you also know when you try to buy a house or when you are at the point of buying your house, there is a concept of debt to income ratio? Do you know why it's there? They didn't just tell you debt to income ratio because they like to not give you the loan. Can you afford it? The reason why they're doing that calculation is to see how much can you afford to pay back. Your needs, you must sit down and calculate what your minimum needs are. The next thing you have to do if you have debts is consciously get out of consumer debts. I've not talked about emergency fund yet. Get out of consumer debts. I promise you, one of your biggest financial building tools is your income. And if your income is not going out every month, you have more to work with. You have more to buy that rental property. You have more to give to people. You have more to buy that brand new car and pay cash for it. You have more to pay. Okay, I'm about to break a table now. You have more to pay your 6-month insurance at the point of getting that insurance. Do you know it's cheaper to pay 6 months ahead? Yes. I'll give you another joke. Okay. So anyone that, so I'll share this now. The cat is out of the bag because it sounded good in my head. Like I said, I'm weird. I tell terrible jokes. So we just got a house and we bought a furniture. And all my friends that comes to the house, I always do an exercise with all of them. I say, hey, look at this furniture you see here. How much do you think this furniture is? And my friends I said, probably like $5,000 or $3,000. And Abraham being the Abraham, I'll be like, oh, I paid $1,400 for that furniture. It's a really nice couch, very comfortable and really nice. I promise you, it was $5,000. But I paid $1,400 for that couch. How did I pay that? I went into the store. Well, by the way, my wife has made a rule that whenever we need to go make big purchases like that, I'm no longer invited. Well, I worked so hard for the money, right? We got to the store. This gentleman came to us. We looked around. We saw what we liked. We saw the couch. I told the guy, we like this one. We like this combination. We picked it. And the guy said, so how much is it? The guy said $5,000. I said, I'll give you the number I want to work with, and we'll go from there. I'm paying cash for this. I'm not financing it. I'm not doing anything. I'm paying cash today. And I went and came back and said, oh, $3,500. I was like, nope. I'll give you a number I need you to work with, and you tell me. I gave him $1,200. It's the Nigerian in me, okay? We bargained for everything. So the guy went back, and I was like, my wife, Tiffany, God bless her heart. She's like, babe, it's okay. We can afford it. Just pay for it. Let's pay for it. She was so embarrassed. I was like, no, babe, I worked so hard for this money. I should be able to tell the guy. If the guy is, I'll tell you something. If the guy stops going back to do some calculations, it's reaches break points. And the salesperson will not sell you something he's not going to make money from. Okay? I can assure you that. As much as it cries and tells you, oh, yeah, this and that, it's not going to sell something it's not going to make anything from. So until you break that, because you work so hard for your money, could I afford to pay the $5,000 for that couch? Yes, I could. Would that have been the easy way out? Yes. But I saved myself another $3,000 or $4,000 I can spend on something else. Yes. So I sat down, I told the guy, okay, let's do, the guy said $1,400. The guy came back and said, oh, the best I can do is $2,000. I told my babe, see, it's gonna come to my level. I'm a proud man, okay? So I'm like, it's gonna come to my level. So my wife was like, babe, I'm gonna pay you the difference. I'm gonna pay you the difference. Just pay this guy the 2,000K. I was like, nope. Let's try to get the guy. The guy went back and was like, okay, Mr. Abraham, what I can do is, the best I can do is 1,800, and that's the best. So I said, okay. So it's not like I didn't move my position. I said, okay, let's try for 1,400, right? Again. I tried. I did move, right? Initially, I started from 1,200, right? I did move a little bit. And the guy was like, okay. Then I was like, okay, 1,400. The guy came back and forth. We added the tax, and we paid 1,500 for the couch. Well, for the first 5 minutes when we got into the car, it was uncomfortable between me and my wife, okay? Because she was like, you embarrassed us. You made them think we can afford it, but we can't. But after like 5 minutes, she was like, oh, yeah, we can buy that with the difference of this. Right? And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. We don't have to dig into, the other parts, right? What I'm saying to you is you need to have a healthy relationship with your money. Like KJK mentioned earlier, we need to walk towards our habits. The mastermind is a place where you can meet people like minds to share these ideas. I can tell you, this is what I'm struggling with. I can tell you, this is the part that always takes my money every month. Thank you very much. Any question? Oh, okay. Woo-hoo. Whoa. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
All right. Can we appreciate Abraham in the house this afternoon? That was epic. Honestly, this is not me like trying to do the job of a host. There were a lot of wow moments. This is why we should be part of the mastermind. Honestly, I can say better. We should have the mastermind QR code on screen right now. Honestly, you don't need any much more convincing than this. Like KJK said at the start, this is a summit of questions, all right? We can't get all the answers here. We're transitioning to a Q&A session right now. But even after that, the questions answered would lead to more questions, all right? But at the mastermind, we would have frequent sessions with like minds, right? The goal is to become a mastermind in different areas of life, essentially relationship, accountability, entrepreneurship, and leadership, which is the core focus of the platform. So we'll transition into questions now. I know a lot of us have questions from the finance session, but of course, KJK and Abraham will be available to answer questions. So can we have questions? Who has questions? All right, so we'll get Mike. Minister Ladi, sir, can we help with the mics, please, for Q&A? Thank you. All right, so we'll have you first, and then we'll pass the mics around. All right, yeah, so who goes first?
I have to go first. She's shy.
Thank you.
I raise my hands. So I totally get your point. I get the wellness. So I am like your wife, and my husband is like you. It's difficult. I get embarrassed all the time. So my question is just, let's say the guy did not work with you with the numbers that you have. Would you have bought it? Maybe not 5,000, but something in between. Where's my husband? He needs to listen to this.
Okay. Like I said, it's going to be an uncomfortable drive home. So not me. It's you. You asked the question. Okay. Yes, I would have. Because before going to the store, we had a budget. We knew we were going to spend $4,500 on a couch. So being fully transparent, we knew we were going to spend $4,500 on a couch. But our goal is to go out there, see what is available. If anything we like is above our budgets, I promise you, if KJK comes to my house, he's going to sit on the floor. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. So my submission to you is, I do have a budget. If it's above my budget, I don't do it. If it's within my budget, I'll buy it. But as much as possible, I want to give myself more flexibility to buy more stuff. That's why I try, I try as much as I can.
So quick follow-up question, since I have the mic, that's the privilege of having the mic. What happens if it's below your budget? What do you do with the extra cash?
Oh, yeah, that's my money to spend on anything I want to.
Blow money, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Motivation to bargain properly, Let's have a question.
Okay, I have so many questions, but I'm not gonna ask all of it. I'm just gonna ask you one, and it's about the debt. So, a brief scenario of my debt is I'm guilty of it being like massive right now. Not because I wanted it to, but it's because it just happened. Because COVID, then I had 2 babies, then I had health issues with one of my child and myself, and the hospital bills just kept coming. They kept coming. And even though we try to like finance the whatever, it's impossible. It's impossible. So yesterday I was telling my husband that I'm gonna file for, what do you call it?
Section.
Yeah, I'm gonna file for, yeah. So, yeah, so he was like, why do you need to do that? I'm like, because I'm tired of the calls and, the people calling me to get the money. I'm tired of the calls and whatever. Now, it's not because I'm not budgeting my money, but it's because during a period of time, I did not do that other thing that you said, that if you quit your job today, do you have enough money to be okay for 3 to 6 months? See, I didn't have that knowledge. So what happened is I spend as I go. And because I'm dumb enough to have 6 kids, I have a lot going on. And these kids, they have needs and then they have wants. And sometimes you just got to kiss their asses with the wants. But then at the end of the day, my question is, yeah, the debt. How do I budget to pay some of the debt and then still be on track with having healthy financial, tracking?
First of all, I empathize about your situation. I'll be fully transparent with you. And I'm not going to give financial advice, but I'm going to give a recommendation. Are we good? This is not financial advice, it's a recommendation. It's okay to file for bankruptcy to get a second chance. Okay? Because you might be knee-deep in debts and you can't breathe. Okay? My recommendation is, if you need to file for bankruptcy to win back again with money, it's okay. There's a lot of lies that have been told to us in this country, and I'll be very transparent with us today. One of the lies is you need credit score for everything. Yes. That is not true. Do you know you don't even need credit score to buy a house in this country? I say that to you, and I can give you lenders, I can give you real estate people you can work with. All you need to be able to do, is proof that for 12 months, you can pay some certain bills, rents, power, utilities. If you have 12 months of data, you can show proof and get qualified without credit score. If you can show you have 0 debts. Are you tracking with me? The easy routes could be credit score, your relationship with debt, all that is the easy route. That's easy. You can get a debt, play the games and get your credit score up, down, whatever. But it's more difficult because the process of, having that paper trail is longer. So like I'm sharing with you, it's okay if you've done all the calculations and there's no way that you don't see yourself in the next 3 to 5, 6 years paying off all those debts. It's okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll just take 2 more. Okay, 3 more questions. So 1, 2. Oh, you have another question?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Instead of doing chapter 7, she can do chapter 13. And that will prove her back.
That is true. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So I have two more questions, the gentleman here and the lady 2 rows behind. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it.
Talk to a financial planner or a tax person.
All right, so we'll have your question and then the lady 2 rows behind, and we will move on to the next session.
So my question is, if you have a loan or a debt that you're paying like almost like 8.9, you get caught on it because of the increase in interest rate now. Is it advisable to put all your saving or get your 401k to pay that debt off, or you save your money and pay some part of the debt? So what do you advise in that?
Like I said, I don't give financial advice. It's just a recommendation. Okay? Are we good on that? I don't want someone to slap me with a lawsuit, okay? Okay. Here's what I'm going to submit to you. I wouldn't say you jeopardize your future for the inconvenience of today. The fact that you have money set out for your 401k and it's doing well for you, how much you make in that compounding, do you know what I'm trying to talk about? It's much more than that. So if you have a strategy to pay the debts, are you with me? Meaning you're not drowning. I would say keep paying the debts. Start from the ones with the most interest rates. The ones with the most interest is not the one with the largest balance. The ones with the highest interest rates. Go through that, attack that aggressively. While you're doing that, keep paying minimum on the, if you have multiple, keep paying minimum on those ones. But attack the one with the most interest rates. And then by the time you're done with that, go to the next one, go to the next one. My recommendation to you would be attack the debts first and don't borrow from your future. Anything can happen. Life be life in sometimes.
Okay. All right, let's have your question.
Hello. Now, this is a random question. Now, I'm sure a lot of women here feel this way. But when you walk into a store and you see a price tag, the tendency is that you do not want to haggle. So what store did you go to purchase your furniture? I do want to purchase furniture. That's why I'm asking.
Two things. If you're paying cash, you can go to any store.
Tell me the one you went to. I want that one.
I'll give you the name. I don't want to promote a brand, but I'll give you the name. Yeah. But it's a premium. Oh, shut up. There's a reason why I don't. And the other part is going to be, I know there are price tags associated with things, but a man I met when I got to this country almost 7 years now. 7, can you imagine that? Okay. Said something to me and said, there's nothing you cannot price down in this country if you're paying cash for it. And that mindset clicked here since I got into this country, and that has been my moving principle. So I'll try. The worst you're going to say to me is no. I'll try. If I see the tag, is there any room here? I'm going to say it in a joking way. Where the guy, and by the way, I'm going to go to the store knowing when you look at me, you will know I can afford what I'm trying to have conversation. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, can we give him?
Like
I think it's on.
I'm trying to build a deck, right? This guy came in. Oh, this deck, I will build it for you. Probably maybe $20,000, and you don't have to pay a dime for next 1 year. And we went to the whole financial with bank approving the loan, and I get denied. Like, he was so mad that if I can come up with this 15,000 cash, I will cut off about $6,000. And I said, we'll go pay that. I said, that's bank money. That's what bank get paid. So like now I'm coming there. That if you have in cash, you can
get it a
get
lot
something
cheaper.
more cheaper.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can bag it more better.
Yeah, I mean, we may not be able to take more questions now. I know we have loads of questions, and again, that's the reason. And this is how it works, right? I have realized from experience, right, guys, that everything that would work in a sustainable fashion has to be put into systems, and the system is not a one-time thing. It's continuous. That's what sustainability is, and this is why we have to. Not we have to. We should join the mastermind, right? Because again, this is a recorded session. It's being broadcast live, so certain things cannot be said here. We have to give generic answers, right? But at the mastermind, it's one-on-one, literally with a group of like minds. We can ask really practical questions. It's easy to be vulnerable there, and it's free, right? Are we charging for it? Absolutely free for now, right? Because inflation again, but for now, it's free. All you need to do is take out the smartphone in your pocket or your bags and just scan the QR code. And before the end of the year, we're going to have 1 or 2 sessions, again, importantly about planning towards 2024 financially. All right, so right about now, we will be going for a short 10 minutes tea break. It's not just a break, it's also a networking session. And then after that, we have ID Kabasa in the house. And honestly, guys, most people may know him for music. That's like 5% of his ability. The man is a bundle of wisdom, practical wisdom, and we don't want to miss that. Honestly, you don't want to miss it. All right, we have about 50 minutes conversations with him. We would have opportunities to ask him questions during that session. Let's not walk away. Let's not walk off the show or the event or the summit, whatever it is. It's not over. We're just midway through. And so we have refreshments out there in the lobby. Again, the restrooms are out on the hallway. If you need anything, if you have questions or need any clarification, speak to any official wearing the Real Platform shirt, and then we would attend to you with as much excitement as possible. Thank you for being here again. In 10 minutes, we will be back and get more deeper into the summit. Thank you all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can we start making our way back in? We have less than 20 seconds to the start of the next session. Thank you. All right, can we all make our way back into the auditorium? Thank you. Can our officials please help direct people back in? Thank you. Can we all make our way back in? Thank you. Can we please come in? It's time for our next session. Thank you. All right, and for those who are in, can we please just make our way to our seats? Thank you all again for making time out to be a part of the Beyond the Hustle Summit. We do not take this for granted. And a special, special shout out to all our online audience from across the world. Again, for those who are still in the lobby, the next session is about to start. We would appreciate if you can wrap it up and make your way in here. Without wasting much of our time, I'll be calling up our next we call him, it's not a speaker, even if he's going to speak. But again, one thing that is a brother and a friend, of course, and one thing that inspires me a lot about this gentleman is beyond his career as a comedian or an MC, a host, a compere, he's one who is given to knowledge. I mean, we're having a quick chat in the lobby about a few minutes ago, and he's been here from the very beginning, right? And we're talking about that, and he said, one thing that he likes to do to separate him from his colleagues is when he's invited to events like this, seminars or summits where he can learn, he's not just coming to perform, he's coming to learn. So, right, he's been here like from the beginning, and he's had to wait maybe 3-4 hours somewhat before his performing time. And I'm really inspired by that, right? And that shows that nothing great happens by chance. So the strides, the giant strides that he's having in his career is because of mindsets like that. Without wasting much time, can we please, with a wonderful Beyond the Hustle Summit welcome. Make welcome our multiple award-winning, superstar, well-traveled comedian. They call him the richest. Some of us know him as Kingsley Ober, but the world knows him as CY. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome CY to the Beyond the Hustle Summit. We could do better than that. Come on.
Oh, okay. Good evening or afternoon or. Okay. The people outside, they don't want to listen to me. Wow, because I don't speak wisdom, right? Please, can they tell them to come inside? Please tell them. I'll wait. This is my career. You can't end it for me. This is what I do. Come inside. I'm not saying anything. They want to eat their last supper here. Can you tell them to come? You know, one thing about you, we don't understand about comics or stand-up comedians is, you know, the audience is our energy. So if we don't get the people, it's I won't be funny. So I need the people. And one thing about Africans or Nigerians, most especially, very stubborn. They won't come. They will say, who is he? What does he have? How much does he have? We know how to do all that. They are looking. She's looking at me. My sister, come in. You come inside. She's there at the window looking at me. You say, well, what's wrong with this small boy? Okay. Anyway, my name is Kingsley Oba, a.k.a. CY, a.k.a. the richest. That's why you're supposed to clap, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So I'm a comedian. This is what I do for a living. I make people laugh, and it's very simple. My job here, I'm not here to... AB and KJK, they be making sense. I'm not going to make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. So don't expect me to make sense. I didn't come here to make any sense. They brought me here. So disclaimer, if you are not getting anything, just know that that's what they brought me here for. Just to say nonsense, you know. And I'll get paid for saying nonsense. So if you are not laughing, it's not my problem. That's your own big problem. You know, said so many things. I enjoy the session and everything. I mean, by the way, KJK, this is not even one pack. This thing you are carrying, it's not one pack. It's amusement park. You say we're almost there. Try. Look at us. Look at Abraham. He will soon disappear. I hope you are not watching your weight. Because if you go beyond this one, we'll be using torchlight to look for you. I have a lot of history with this guy. This guy sitting down here, I have history with him. His first car he used in this country. No, it's not that wasn't a car. That's moto. You know, there's a difference between car and moto. As a matter of fact, there are three categories. We have what we call cruise. Then we have, car. Then we have moto. So he's not even in the car and cruise. His own was in moto. I'm telling this guy you're sitting down here, wearing all these your sneakers. I love it, man. That's nice sneakers, man. I should have this one. Yeah, it's Nike, not Nike. Wow. You that asked all the questions that we wanted to ask. So now let me tell you about his car. See, that car, oh God, that car had a mind of its own. You know, when a car has its own mind, it's dangerous. I'm not joking. What's the make of the car again? The first car. 2008 Ford Focus. He was driving it in 2020. No, 2019. 2017. The car was retired, but he didn't allow that car go. You know that car, when he turns on the AC, the tire will get cold. I'll be wondering. I say, is the AC not on? He say it's on. I say, but I'm feeling heat. He says it's the tire that is getting cold. But honestly, we thank God for growth. We thank God for where he is today. And one of the guys that has helped me in my career and my business is Abraham with the advice and everything. And I've been able to grow exponentially. Thank you very much for that. And I see so many people I know. My lawyer is here, my guy, barrister. Yeah, this man has helped me collect so much money from this country. Once they hit me from behind, boah, I'll call him. He say, where are you? I say, I'm on the highway. He say, die, just die. Barrister, he say, collapse. Just tell them you can't move your neck. You are dead. You know, I didn't know that thing. You know, when I came to this country, I was driving one of my friends. We were driving, so somebody just hit him. Bah! You know, in Nigeria, when they hit us, what do? We come out and start shouting. Who are you? Do you know who I am? I will kill you today. We start, as I wanted to open the door, my friend said, sit down. I said, what? Let's go and deal with this guy. He said, no. He said, calm down. I said, why? He said, just come. I just noticed my friend did like this. I said, guy, have fun now. He said, die. I said, what? I said, I'm alive. You say I should die. There's nothing wrong with us. Now see me, I'm still okay. He said, my brother, it will work. Die. So I just did like this. So the white guy just came. Hello? Are you okay? Are you okay? In my mind, I just shouted, ambulance. A few months later, he don't pay this guy heavy money. I say, wow, that's how it works. Okay, we'll all die. In this country, I came to make some complaint. I just came back from a trip for an event, in Houston. And you see, I'm complaining about the flight. How many of you, when you get into the aircraft, you sit, that window, there's this window, that door. Yeah, you call it emergency. I don't know what's so emergent about that door. And, they'll come to you. See, it's so annoying. They'll come to you. So, in case of an emergency, open the door and jump out. They'll tell you all those things. Why do you tell me that kind of a thing? First off, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know if I'm depressed already, and you are telling me if something happens, open the door. Why would you come and tell somebody? And I think they should do some kind of analysis before they put people on that seat. They'll say, sir, are you the one sitting down here? Say yes. So, then what do they ask again? If in case of any emergency, will you be able to? Why are you even thinking of emergency? That's already problem. Will you be able to open this door and jump out? What they should do is they should put their staff there. Yes, I actually, advocate that they should put their own staff there. So that if something happens, the person knows how to open the door. Why would you just come and tell a random person sitting down there? And those pilots, another thing is the pilot, they never speak well. They never speak clearly. My name is... Then, they don't even, first off, they don't even, ma'am, you are even loud. You are even audible. They are, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is, we're cruising in a altitude of 1,000. Enjoy your flight. What did you just say now? Oh, my God. And I'm going to say this, then I leave. Hustle. One thing I know about Africans, and I like what Abraham said, Africans are the biggest hustlers in this country. I can say that for sure. We are the biggest hustlers in this country. Trust me. You see, Africans, imagine people that have mental problem where they are coming from. No. See, do you know that Nigerians, in Nigeria, we have a lot of mental problem. In Africa, there's mental problem. And then we will come here and they'll put us to work in mental facilities to correct people that have mental problem. Is that not an irony? It's crazy. People that have mental problem, you bring them to come and work in mental facilities to correct people that have, we are blessed. I'm telling you. There's level to men. They call it men's now. And you know, they say Africans are not caring. We're not caring. Most especially African men. They say we're not caring. But we are the ones that occupy caregiving, facilities. Think about that. They say African men are not caring. But we are the ones working in caregiving facilities. We hustled in this, me and KJK. Should I tell them the story? No, because why I can say this, PF is here, my mentor is here, Pastor Femi. We hustled in this America, the things we have done. That's why we need this kind of seminar to help us plan, because beyond the hustle, something else, like what we used to do then when we came, 2 minutes more, the way you are doing like this. Oh, okay, I thought you said 2 minutes more. How many minutes do I have more? 30 seconds. Wow. I've not said anything. What have I said now? Just 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Laddie, correct. I have so many things to say. I don't know where to start from. This man invited me when I just came to this country to a restaurant to celebrate his 40th. And I just came 2 weeks into America. And I didn't know how it works in America, that if they invite you for a birthday in a restaurant, you come with your money. If he had taken one of these restaurants in Riverdale here, it took us to DC. Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao, they will carry meat everywhere. You'll be seeing meat walking around. You think it's free. So they'll bring it and say, pork meat. I say, bring it. They'll cut it out, eat. Yeah. They'll come again. This one is turkey meat. I say, bring it. I was eating. I noticed the guy sitting beside me was just eating the salad. I said, is this guy stupid? This is a party. Eat. Me, I was eating. When we finished, I just noticed they were giving people one small paper. Giving people one small paper. So I thought it was souvenir. So I just noticed my own was very long. Everybody's own was like this. They just gave. I noticed my own was longer. I said, wow, Laddie likes me. He's giving me big souvenir. When I just opened it, I went down. My house rent, 2,500. 2,500. The anointing, I went with my wife. She was eating, I was eating. So as I turned to face my wife, I didn't see my wife on the seat again. I saw my wife talking to one white man. So how are you? I said, honey, what's up now? I said, come on, let's discuss this this thing. My wife refused. She denied me there. Thank God I'm not washing plates. But anyway, I don't want to go over time because I'm a man under authority. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, the Reachers. Without wasting much time, we're going straight into the next session so we can be out of here. Again, this is a reminder for those of us who haven't made up our mind to join the mastermind. Please do. The QR code should show up on the screen in a few seconds. Right after then, please scan. Again, there's so many things that we've heard today, especially from KJK and from Abraham's session. We can unpack it in 3 hours, right? It's got to be systematic, and that's why we have the mastermind. We will be calling up our next guest, and this is interesting because it's not just a monologue, right? It's not unidirectional. We're going to be having a conversation, and I have the privilege of being the one to host this session with him. Is someone that I respect a lot, is my big bro. I respect him a lot for his wisdom. And the thing about the wisdom that he has is what I call casually dispensed wisdom, right? You know how you could have so much depth and then you want to package to that level and do that. It's very unassuming, but there's so much wealth of wisdom that he has. Again, we have so many multiple award-winning people in our midst. Of course, he is a multiple award-winning music producer. He's seen it all. He's been there. He's done that. Shortly, we're going to have his video introduction. Do we have that ready, his video introduction?
Olumide Ogwade, popularly known as ID Kabasa, is a legendary music producer and beatmaker who brings his artistic value to both music production and business. He has helped several acts take their music career to the next level and has produced hundreds of global hits, such as Gongwaso by Nice. He was instrumental to the discovering and bringing of several world-class international musicians to light. A classic, hardworking entrepreneur and one passionate about impact and transformation, ID Kabasa is a thought-provoking writer and one you can call an embodiment of creativity and innovation. The CEO of a name well known across the music industry in Africa and on several global platforms, The Coded Tunes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm, real platform welcome with a round of applause. ID Kabasa.
Can everybody hear us good? Yes. All right. This is going to be fun, I promise. The ID Kabasa. Trust me, I'm under more pressure than it seems. I'm not as calm as I look, but it's fine. We'll wing it. Again, I want to welcome you to the Beyond the Hustle platform. It's a privilege to have you here, and it's a privilege for me, honestly, to be hosting this. Because there's a lot of tension on my side, we're going to do like a little icebreaker to kind of ease the tension. So I'm going to be asking him a couple questions. This is not part of what he's going to be here to speak. I think it's back on. All right. Yeah, it's back on. Thank you. Should I use this? All right. So I'll turn this off.
Okay. And so while we're just trying to get everything set, we're going to be asking you some this or that questions real fast. You don't have time to think about it. They're real fast and they're basic questions. Okay. Are we good?
Okay.
All right. So this or that. Morning or night?
Morning.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Flying or teleporting?
Teleporting. I love the future.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Board games or video games?
Video.
Rain or sunshine?
Sunshine.
You thought about that?
No, sunshine.
Okay. Guitar or piano?
Piano,
of course.
Piano.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Pizza or pasta?
None of the two. I prefer my amala.
All right. Travel to the past or to the future?
To the future, yes.
Okay. Final one. Books or movies?
Books.
All right. Can we again celebrate ID Kabasa in the house? I think we have that done. All right. Let's get straight into it. So today's summit is tagged Beyond the Hustle. Okay. And I realized that going beyond the hustle, I feel like a lot of people here may share my sentiments, that going beyond the hustle may not be possible without understanding the hustle itself. Before you go beyond something, you necessarily have to go through it, right? So before we get into the post-hustle conversation, can you share your thoughts on the hustle spirit? How does this impact the quality of the lives that we live?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First disclaimer, there are a lot of things that have been said about me that sincerely, trust me, those things are not me. I'm a learner, and I think I will remain one till I die. Thank you again, KJK, for having me. I think this is my third session. We did two in Nigeria, and I'm here. So also, there has been so many English today that at some point I was looking for the meaning of also. If there's anything we would say today, probably having this conversation, is to destroy the number one, let me use the most important part of where this conversation needs to go. It's actually to destroy some mindsets. If you can't destroy the mindset behind some things, you will lose meaning of what a thing is. Because what a thing is used for is what most times we define them as. But truth is not what you use something for, it is what it is. When you were talking about purpose the other time, because I'm a Christian, pastors have taught me many times that also spirit, God forbid. And in my head, I've also looked at it that for everything that I pray for, God answer with the opposite. I'm praying to God to bless me, and God is giving me a problem to solve. I'm praying to God to do this, and God is giving me almost opposite. So there is that part of also, God will not let you have also spirit, like, because we don't understand what also is. We see also as a bad word. I don't want to also in my life. If you don't want to also, then you should not be out there saying that you want to be blessed. So that's why you see my hands are blessed. But the question is it really your hand that is blessed or the works of your hands? So for me, also is like street sense. People talk about street sense. It's not your area. It's actually your mindset.
Wow.
Which means also is not what, you know that Maslow hierarchy of need? As you go from the lower bottom up, you're actually hustling.
Yeah.
There is one more that we had today that will take you beyond the hustle. Because at the end of the day, your hustle is your creative way of trying to survive. It's your creative way of trying to survive. If there's anything that can dictate things to you, is your survival.
Wow.
Even Jesus Christ caused the fig tree because he was hungry. The first temptation he had was with food. One man, according to Bible, lost his blessing because of what? Food. Because he had to go and he doesn't know how to make his food within the house. Esau. You understand? They said they lost it. Yoruba people will say, Tori asaru elenu rede.
Can you translate that?
Porridge,
okay,
you know.
Thank you.
So if you don't understand what also is, you might think it's only the guys at the lower cadre that
should
hustles.
hustle.
After surviving that lower cadre of, you know, you need food, shelter, and all of those things, that you are going to the next one. There is a renewed hustle.
At every level.
When you get to that point, there's another hustle, then the last part where you go beyond the hustle. And I'm saying hustle is personal. Hustle is not what you do. Because people will tell you, like Tayo, if you're an IT guy now, you tell me that my hustle is IT. No. Hustle is what drives you. It's not what you are doing. Which is to say, if you define your passion or your hustle by what you do, the day you stop doing it, are you saying hustle dies? Are you saying passion dies? No. So it's a driving force behind what you do. The day you will get to that last one, I think I should just say it now. They call it self-actualization. At the end of the day, this even still has self in it. It doesn't define greatness. The last point for me, which is not included here, is the point of greatness, when you become a god. Yes, where you become a god. You become a god not by doing what you can figure out. KJK was talking about goals the other time. If you have a goal, that means you can figure it out. But I also know there is a level that is beyond you figuring out what you can do. When you get to that level of being a god, you become an agenda setter. Agenda setters controls everybody here. This guy here, they depend on the next people. For the guys that have already achieved safety, they depend on them to make their living. The guys at the point of safety depend on the one on love and belonging, you know, like that, even self-actualization. But you see those guys that are agenda setters, they are the guys that determine what is going on. Every other person here, they focus more on what is happening.
Sorry, I'm sorry. You just brushed through something. What is going on and what is happening? Can you dive in a little bit into what is going on and the difference and how it applies to our lives?
Okay, so I'm going to use an illustration. We had that conversation at home. And so there was this guy that was employed to work as a construction worker. Let me use the word carpenter. I will call it in Nigeria. He was employed to work as a carpenter at a new site. So the first day he got there, they noticed that when he closed, he was going out and he was moving with a brand new wheelbarrow. But inside the wheelbarrow, there was a box that had sawdust inside that he kept inside that wheelbarrow. They stopped him at the gate and they asked him that, where are you going with this box? So he was searched. They searched the box. They saw sawdust inside this. Come on, what are you going to do with sawdust? The guy told them that he's going home to cook with it. Second day, he did the same thing. Third day, he did the same thing. Fourth day. But the fifth day, the chief security guy was curious, like, you are taking sawdust home every time. There is something beyond what I'm saying. So he now asked him, he said, I'm not going to prosecute you. I'm not going to do anything. Tell me what is really going on. Do you know what that guy was stealing? Wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. We are distracted by what is happening that we don't pay attention to what is going on. Wow. Those guys up there, I nearly said praise God. So those guys that create agendas,
they are the ones who
they will create agendas that they will sponsor KJK, they will sponsor me, both of us will be fighting, but we will be actualizing what they have said. So they are the ones that will create, like Black Lives Matter. Yeah, and they are the same people that will create those people that will fight them. So most times we are distracted by what is happening, that we are not paying attention to what Let me use Nigeria as an example, the Japa spirit. At the end of the day, they are stealing our dreams. In the USA, it's better. In the UK, it's worse. The day you jackpot to the UK, what you have done is you have traded your dream for comfort. And unfortunately, comfort is a setup. Comfort is a major setup. We were praying in church one year, and they said we should pray about success.
Okay, so hold on, sir. Because it was going into the next question. So before we get into that, now you talked a lot about the streets.
Yeah.
You said street is not a location, it's a mindset. You also said the hustle is not what we do. It's more like the driving force on our inside. And this is a fantastic image to drive this conversation, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Now, on the biological and physiological level, and we had this conversation earlier this week, the major motivation for those group of people right there is survival.
Yeah.
And at that level, those people are incapable of assimilating the message of success or greatness, which is what you were about to talk about. That's why I paused you. And so the question is, in focusing on survival, that excludes us from possibilities of like wealth generation, impact generation, and all that. So how do we transition from survival to actually contributing to the agenda, right? How do we go from there all the way up there through our hustle, that spirit on our inside?
Okay, if we understand what the hustle is, that it is a driving force, you also have to understand evolution, where you evolve over time. And, you know, KJK spoke about purpose. And he said if purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Unfortunately, a lot of times, some of our pursuits actually steal our purpose. They steal our purpose from us. And you might think that, okay, because if we ask in this room that how many of us really know our purpose? How many of us know our purpose here? Okay, I can put him on the spot. He's my friend. Music Magnet, please share your purpose with us. Still unfolding. Yeah, I love that, because why I'm taking us back to the place of purpose is the same way we look at passion and all of those things, we still see purpose as what we are. We see it as a goal that we are trying to achieve. We see it as what we want to do. But sincerely, I know I have other people of other faiths here, but your purpose, you sing it in songs, but you don't pay attention to it as a Christian. One of the most common songs that we sang growing up is, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory, honor, and power, for thou art what?
All things for your pleasure.
So what purpose are you looking for again? You were created to fulfill God's pleasure. But if we go a bit too religious on that, to just say, I'm just going to please God by going to the church, you have missed it. In fact, break your mindset of thinking that the kingdom of God is the church. No. The church is a part of it. It's even the smallest part of it. But that is not the kingdom. Which was why when Jesus was teaching us how to pray, he said, thy kingdom come. It's a culture. Your purpose here is actually to bring a culture from there down here, which is to change the mind of people. You don't change culture by, so it's a culture. Your purpose should not be what you are doing, because at the end of the day, you will play football and you get to the age of 32 like Hazard, our fan player. Are you saying that the day you stop playing football, your purpose has stopped? No. Your purpose is actually to make sure that at everything that you find yourself doing, God's culture is coming down, then God is being glorified.
So it's more like what's going on. What's going on is fulfilling your purpose. Yes, what is happening is the work of your hands.
Just the work of your hand, your career, so many other things. Me, I'm a foreman. One man doing the work of 4 people. Which means I see myself here today. And by the way, also talking about the also spirit going forward, you need to bring everything that you are into the room.
Can you talk more about that extensively?
Yeah, please? So most of us bring only what they know us for into the room. You have limited who you are by bringing they bring me into the room and they say Heidi Kabasa is a music producer. You don't understand who you are. In fact, most of us can't define ourselves, because the day you keep defining yourselves by the things that you have become, you are not getting it. You are still struggling with identity crisis. If all you can't tell me, if I ask anybody here now, who are you, please? Mostly you will tell me your name. Probably somebody will take it further to say, I am KJK, I am PhD. Those things are the things that you have become. But there is so much more. In fact, I'm trying to coin my own. Now, why do you think God said I am? I am anything, I am. Because I have possibility to actually become so many things. So until you start to see yourself from the place of whatever I'm doing now is to a higher goal, you might be defining yourself with so much limitation by what you have become, by some of the goals. Thank God that you guys are here. Getting a car is not a testimony for you. But in Nigeria, for some people, the whole of their hustle is just to do what? Get a car. And let me shock you, that car, they are not getting that car for what that car is meant for, which is transportation. They are trying to get the car to actually booga, like we say, you don't understand, to show the next man that, look, I have a big car. So we are missing the conversation around purpose and all of that. So I think your session has actually defined everything. Our purpose are actually misaligned. They are not purposeful again. So we are getting the purpose wrong and all. And I think if we get them right, it helps you to evolve. That when you get to a bus stop, you are eager to move to the next bus stop. You are eager to move to the next. You get to that particular point.
Where you're the one setting the
success is a major hindrance into evolving. If you see success as a goal, you are missing the point. I treat success the same way I treat failure.
So Kabasa, before you dive into that, can I pause you a bit?
I'm not diving, I am actually seated.
They are paying attention to what's happening. What is going on that you are diving?
I said that you dive.
Okay. So there are 3 things: success, fame, or 2 things: success and fame, and their related vices. And we've had that conversation a lot, right, about success and fame. And again, talking about the street, there's this concept of wanting to blow. That's why I paused you there. And the idea is people who have that idea of wanting to blow, it's almost like, I just want to become successful. Can you speak about that mentality of, because when we're talking about the hustle, the reason why we're hustling is because we have a destination, that blow phase. So can you shed more light on that? Because you've been through it all, success, fame, and its related vices. So how do we create that balance as we go through that journey of success such that we can attain the good part of it and then avoid the vices that
There is no good or bad success. I'm sorry to burst this bubble. I don't define things by whether they are good or bad. I define them for what they are. What you use your success for is what eventually defines whether it's good or bad.
Wow.
So success to me is an experience, is not a goal. It's something you experience along the line. It should not be the reason why you are doing it. If you do it because you want to be successful, so after doing it, what now happens, Tayo? So fame. One of my friends walked in now. We had this conversation. In fact, if I can bring out his brain, I just play back our conversation. I think it will help. First and foremost, there is a major perception, which is mindset, that fame is a bad thing. They have lied to you. Fame should not equal pride. It is the misunderstanding of fame that religious people tell you that it is pride. So most of you have become less of yourself because you are scared that when you become famous, you will become prideful. Unfortunately, out of the blessing, fortunately, not unfortunately, one of the blessings God gave Abraham that we that are Christians study was fame. I showed my friend Isaiah yesterday that scripture. When God told Abraham that I'm going to make your name great, what do you think it means?
Fame.
They don't call pastors because they are talent, because they are anointed. They call them because they are popular.
Wow.
As a musician, they don't call you because you know how to sing. They call you because you are popular. It's a game of numbers. If anybody tell you that being famous is a problem, then ask them, is Jesus famous? Is Muhammad famous? All these people, are they famous? They are. So fame is not the bad thing. What the problem is, what you use it for. And for fame, let me quickly touch this. For traction, there are two things: acceptance and fame. So some people are accepted. KJK, you are well accepted. I've seen your community in Nigeria. I've seen them online before. I think this is even the fourth one because we did one online. Yeah. So I've seen your community online. I see how they follow you. They are not your followers. They have become disciples. That is what happens when you have acceptance. And acceptance only comes from the place of truth, where what you are saying, I can see sense in it. It can change me. Fame, the other way, is popularity. Everybody knows you. You can be famous and not accepted. I know a lot of them in Nigeria. There's one that his nuisance value is very high now. One boy, we call him Wala. I don't know. He's so famous, but funny enough, I think he's going to get acceptance because he actually makes sense once in a while when he's talking. So if you don't want to go and get one, either or, no. The idea is to get both. You are famous and you are also accepted. When you have that, Tayo, that is the real blow. You don't need to work transformer before you blow. If you have acceptance and you have, which was why I said, get into the room.
With everything you are.
With everything. If you are a pianist, then invite you into the room to come and talk on finance, and you see a piano by the doorstep, go and play that piano. Oh, you play the piano too? Yes. They ask you to talk. Oh, you're saying something. That is what you were talking about, capacity building. That is where it actually comes in. You understand? You need acceptance. You also need what? Fame. Fame is not bad. Fame is not evil. So fame is not bad. Fame is not evil. It is what you use fame for that can either positively influence people
or negatively. And
that takes us to influencers. If what influencing does, social media does, is it amplifies who you are. So if you are a man that is, or a woman that is given to truth, it makes you a wise influencer. But unfortunately, the world we are in right now, there are many influencers that are foolish. So we have more foolish influencers
than wise ones.
And you that you are wise, you are there complaining that they are not doing. Get into that space.
With
Get into that space. Stop. Don't complain about them. Go and change
the culture.
Remember, kingdom
culture.
Is culture, architecture. Bring your own. Bring it into that space and just do what you have to do.
Kawasa, you mentioned stuff about acceptance, and that's very important, right? Most of us here, career people, business owners, and literally there's no success in business without acceptance, right? You got to have some form of acceptance for somebody to exchange their, money for whatever value that you deliver. So, and I know you that you have you're accepted across board. So what are a few things you can say people in this room can start implementing from tonight to improve acceptance in one form or the other?
Okay, for acceptance, you need to be a man and woman of truth. And when I say truth, you are not saying what is true. What is true and what the truth are two different things. Each time you say in your mind that I'm sharing my truth, you are deceiving yourself. You are having personal masturbation. Because you are the only one. How can you say my truth? You don't even know the truth. And you are saying is your own. Yet whatever you are saying, Tayo, sincerely, is what is true to you.
Your perception of it.
Is your perception of the truth. So at the end of the day, if you want to be accepted, you need to study truth, not trend. If you study trend expires in no time.
Trend ends.
Yes, they end in no time. And truth one thing I can tell you about truth is actually open-ended, is balanced, which is to say you are not going to be an extremist, because behind every extremist is condensed ignorance, which is where you find many religious people. I am a Christian, I don't believe anything the Muslim guys are saying. Do you know what they believe? You don't. So there's condensed ignorance. I'm a Muslim, I don't care what the Christian guy believes. The Christian guy is saying this. You base your definition more on what you are told by other people, not what you have found out.
Your pursuit of truth.
So at the end of the day, for acceptance, you need to understand truth. Why I said truth is, you know there are people that their life and legacy actually outlived them.
Yeah.
Go and check the things they gave us. There are things, Jesus Christ, we are still speaking about Jesus today. We are still talking about David. When are they going to be talking about the God of Tyre? When are they going to be talking about my testimonies as a yardstick for truth? So you need to understand truth. And I'm not talking about just to creative people. I'm saying to everybody, if truth can be seen in what you do, it goes a long way. Second one, you need to be omniscient. Yes, now. You need to actually be omniscient in terms of you should be in every room without being there. And the only way you can do that one is actually to have relationships.
Community.
Christians focus a lot more on the bread and wine for communion. They don't focus on the meaning of communion, which is communion of
community.
Which is to say, I'm not in that room, but KJK is in that room. And KJK is, they are talking there. They just mentioned something that Kabasa can do. And KJK just said, yes, Kabasa can do this thing. I am in the room.
That room.
Because there is an impact that, so you need that part of being omniscient, and it can only happen if you are a balanced human being. And you
Kabasa,
need to
speak to that balance a bit in terms of accommodating people. I know I'm setting you up. Accommodating people who don't share your beliefs.
You can learn from a fool. Let me put it like that. You don't understand wisdom if there are no foolish people. So, Pastor.
Okay, so I think there's a construction going on the third floor. So we're safe. It's a safe space. Fear not.
We are not in Israel now. We are not in Gaza.
No.
We are fine.
All right.
So you won't understand. How many of us did economics here? What is opportunity cost? Alternative for gone. And they call it the real cost. So how can you understand wisdom without knowing what foolishness is? That is actually where balance is. Why I said you need to also be a balanced person is to know that there is always something beyond what you know. What you see as foolish is wisdom. That is why most of us are not doing new things. Bible said the foolishness of God is wiser than man. It's not that God is foolish. But most times when those new things are coming, they look
foolish because it challenges what
so
we're
if
used
you don't
to.
If you don't pay attention to seemingly what you call foolish, sincerely, you might just be stranded in some old stuff that has worked in experience, which unfortunately is the experience is actually a comb. Life gives to you after you have lost your hair. Like myself and Ladi, we are losing our hair now. Because most times it's not really useful to you again. But if you are actually one of those people that want to take it to the next level, you need to understand that being a balanced person, you cannot afford the luxury of being too opinionated too.
But Kabasa, how do we, I'm sorry to cut you, sir. I'm trying to get into people's minds in this room. How do we stay balanced, open-ended, without losing our values? Because I know you interact with people you don't necessarily share the same set of values with. How have you been able to successfully interact with them, gain acceptance from them, and not contaminate your value?
People are not their behavior. People are not their behavior. Any man, any woman that you see, that you think they are malfunctioning, trust me, they are dealing with stuff the same way you are dealing with your own. So your concept of judgment should be replaced with your concept of peace. Stop looking at people whether they are right or wrong. Each time you define people by being right or wrong, you will start to define your relationship by, this guy, you don't dupe me before, he will always dupe me again. You don't understand PG.
What he's saying in English is, this guy's duped me before, he's going to dupe me again.
He's going to dupe me again. So you can't define people by what they do. People are more of the things they hide than the things they say. Every one of us in this room. And stop defining people from a perfect condition. God that created Garden of Eden, he put serpents there. That is to tell you none of us will be perfect. So that's your concept of Tola has to be this before I can accept Tola. People that have been a curse to me have also been my blessing in my little life. That you know some of these stories, that they will hurt me so hard that I will be like, no, I'm not going to forgive. But that thing, that consciousness will come back and I'll be like, I'm on a small world. And I move on. And if not all, we eventually come back to be a blessing. So you might need to stop this concept of condemnation. And I wanted to quote scriptures, but let me go on. You might need to stop your concept of he without
sin should cast the first stone.
But do you know that there was somebody that was without sin that did not cast a stone? That is what he's teaching you. It's teaching you that yes, they can be wrong, they can be right, but you have a third option, which is the option of, you understand, just give them a second chance. Give them that. Don't always break bridge. Straight. Go. Scripture, the title. Luke 16. He was teaching us street sense. That crooked servant. I showed this guy clapping. I showed him yesterday. He said streetwise people are hustlers. They are wise in this regard because they know how to look after themselves. You can't know how to look after yourself. You cannot have conversation that is going to keep people in your corner. And by the way, crucial conversations should not be held with you coming with an opinion that cannot be changed. Wow. Crucial conversations should never be held with you having an opinion that you cannot change. If I'm going to have a crucial conversation with you, I should come to the table with an open mind. That look, I need to know what KJK is thinking. For KJK, go to any terrorist. They will give you a reason why they are doing what they are doing. So we need to be careful with that. Just in your mind, when you think justice system and you think peace, then you will get it.
Now, there's a lot that has been said. Like, it feels like we need to take like a water break so we can kind of aid intellectual digestion. Anyways, we're going to wrap this up because we're out of time. But Kabasa, I want you to wrap it up with this. Now, during the week, we talked about the concept of excellence and perfection. And this is the Beyond the Hustle Summit. These are two factors that I believe whatever the hustle, whatever the expression of our hustle is, excellence and perfection, understanding these concepts will give us an edge in the marketplace, the boardroom, or whatever space we find ourselves. So as we wrap up in a minute or two, can you just share a bit about perfection and excellence and what it means to the hustle?
Okay, I will quickly rush this then. I might need to, because we are dealing with Beyond the Hustle. We've not even talked about Beyond it. We are still talking also. So for like the community I belong to in Nigeria, one of our core value is actually excellence. But over time, we missed what excellence was. So we want everything to be perfect. So all of us, while working, we are always fighting ourselves. Because there is nothing that was created to be perfect. Everything was created to be recreated.
To evolve.
When God was creating the world, he was not creating something new. He was recreating it. Because there was something, and he said, to what already exists. So when you understand that perfection is almost like a myth. Yeah. You now see excellence from the part of what is best for now, but that can be improved, which is to say it will expire. God was not describing perfection about Garden of Eden. He was describing excellence. So you will notice the way, I'm sure people will say, I want to go to Eden. Trust me, say, there are some gardens in this country that I'm sure they are finer than Eden. Because God is never the best in the past. He's always evolving. So you are still praying about chariots and horses where the world has moved to. We are praying for Israel in Nigeria. Israelis are using bomb. God help us. So excellence is actually the best for now. So there's this that Kani principle, continuous and never
ending improvement.
You spoke about competition the other time. Your greatest competition, like you rightly said, is you. Yourself. So you are a monopolist. When you compete with people based on perfection, Tayo, you will end up competing with price. But when you compete based on excellence, you are always trying to beat your last level.
You're not bothered about the
You
price.
understand? You are not really bothered about price. You are not bothered about, because the free market is price, but a monopolist is always competing against himself, always wanting to get better,
Almost
and
being
better.
the one who sets the
Yes.
price.
So let me quickly, I've touched that. Let me quickly say something about Beyond also. I think each and every one of us should take out time to go and study the word greatness. That is actually the last one that Maestro did not include, that I think in my own head I've included. Greatness is a game of numbers. Greatness is not you. Greatness is your long game. When you are playing football, you win a match doesn't mean that you are going to still be in the league at the end of the season. Success is winning a match. Losing is losing a match. I mean, failure is losing a match. But at the end of the day, every great club, they want to stay in the Premier League. So they play to keep playing.
Not to always win.
For them, success is not just the goal. The goal for them is to stay playing. So many of us have expired where we are because we are playing the game of just succeeding rather than being great. There's one scripture that said that it gives food to the eater.
Seed to the sower.
He gave them the same thing.
It's hard
he
to
actually
define
gave them
it.
the same thing. It's like giving you beans. Somebody will make a going while another is planting it. The one that is planting it wants a plantation, which is to say his goal is not self-actualization, Tayo. It's not self-actualization where he is actually fine. But the goal is for everybody. So greatness is when people find their success in what you have created. So it's a system.
Wow.
So it's a never-ending until you actually... I know most of us are here and you can still start your greatness story. It's never too late. Actually, that is beyond the hustle, where you are just... What is it called? Eagles. They don't really flap like that. What do they do? They soar, but there's something that they do. They look for the direction of the wind, and they just do what? They spread. And I believe your greatness has nothing to do with your location. It has more to actually do with you being a... Who said you are not a god? For ye are gods. So behave like I am. Anything you can be, anything you can achieve so much more. Don't just define yourself by the limitation of the things that you have done in the past and all of that. And I hope by the time we come back next time to have this conversation, I trust that most of us who have been able to actually pick one or two things to actually build those things.
Wow, this has been so much. Can we celebrate Kabasa in the house? Because of time, we will be wrapping up this couch conversation session. But again, KJK already nailed it on the head when he said at the start, this is a summit of questions. Where you get one answer, then it generates another questions. This brings us back to the mastermind. But before we talk about the mastermind, can we again celebrate Kabasa as he exits the stage? Thank you, sir. All right. We could do it better than that for him. Come on. Thank you all. We are slowly getting to the end of this awesome engagement, the Beyond the Hustle Summit broadcast live from Maryland, United States. Can we have the mastermind QR code on the screen, please? These are conversations, again, I think that's the purpose of this entire summit. I was having a conversation with KJK late last night, and he said every summit, every seminar has an end goal. The end goal of this engagement is to redirect everybody to the mastermind group, because we have the same people and more who have shared with us from their wealth of experience practically, from KJK's keynote session to Abraham's session on finance, and then Kabasa's session on life generally. We have these people and more, right, hosting various mastermind sessions, both actually and virtually, as we get through not only the rest of this year, but 2024. I believe the session has been helpful, not just this session, but the sessions before that. And again, overarching the entire experience, I have had so much fun hosting this event. To wrap this session up, I would invite, who am I inviting? She's right behind you. How are you? Okay, so I'll be inviting Christy to come up and do a thing. But again, I've had so much fun in hosting this event, and I've learned a lot. I believe you all have learned as well. This this event is being streamed live on YouTube, and my belief is it's going to actually remain stored on YouTube, right? It won't be taken down after. Official Real Platform. Official Real Platform is the YouTube handle. You can also go there and rewatch this. Again, a QR code for the feedback is live on the screen. Please scan that, and then you can fill a form. You'll be redirected to a form, a Google form. Fill that out. Let us know how you feel about the event, so that when we are planning the next one, we can have you do that with you in mind, and we can all be collaborators in building that. Thank you all so much for being a part of the Beyond the Hustle Summit. Let's welcome Christy off stage. Thank you.
Right. How's everyone doing today? I hope we've enjoyed ourselves. I thank you all so much. I'm not going to waste much time here. My job here is just to find out from you, I know it's not church, but with a wave of hand, how many people like what you experienced today? Okay, I love that. So your time was not wasted, because I know time is valuable, and I'm very glad, despite the weather and everything, we were able to make it. Without wasting much time, can we have the QR code for the partnership? So this is called Beyond the Hustle Summit, right? But before that, we're a big company, a global platform called Center for Real Impact. And we do different things, summits. We also even want to have some things for the kids as well. But for you to know more, you can check our website, the Real Platform. We have a Facebook handle. We have social. This event is actually on YouTube and on Facebook. You guys can watch it again to learn, because a lot has been said, and I'm very, very sure you can share it with others. But I want you to join our community. Let's partner together to outreach and go beyond even USA, go beyond America. We have different platforms in different areas. We do have this, I like the digital system now. You just have to scan. And also on the table at the back, we also have the QR codes if you want to scan for both the feedback, to join the mastermind, to become a partner. So to become a partner, if you want to know more information, scan this, fill out the form. We're going to reach out to you. We want you to join us to become better, because we can't do this by ourselves. We started, but we also have a lot of people. And please give a round of applause to everybody that made this happen. I'm really, really grateful for every volunteer, every member, I know some people was like, who is this person? But anyway, I'm happy to welcome you in. So please scan this code, and we will talk more, and we'll reach out to you more. If you have any questions, we'll be at the back. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This QR code is actually Cash App, not for the form. It's for partnership. If you want to give to us, this event was on feed. It was free. But if you want to give to us, you feel free to do that. I don't want to say so much about it. If you want to be a partner, we have monthly partnership. Oh, sorry, thank you. We have, if you want to do it quarterly, if you want to do it annually. But most importantly is you becoming a part of the mastermind. The whole idea behind the mastermind is that the next one we're going to have is sometimes in December. It's going to be a fireside conversation where I already have some people at the back of my mind that we might love to have at the mastermind. Of course, we're going to have Ibrahim. Come drill deeper. Now, no screens, no YouTube. Now we can call the numbers. You understand? Now we can set the goals. By December 2024, I want to have 250. I remember some years ago, I'm sorry, so sorry. I remember some years ago, I asked him, he told me, he said, by the end of this year, I'm not going to go too deep. It's fine. He said he wants to have $500,000 saved in his account. And I'm like, at that time, I was earning less than 100,000. And then sometimes in October, not last year, not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago. So you can imagine, saved. And I asked him in October, he asked me, we're having a conversation, I can't remember, and then I asked him that, so how will your goal? And he said, almost there. So, but he didn't tell me the figures, but then let's leave the conversation for some other time. Why am I saying this? When we have someone like, him, I have so much respect for him when it comes to finances and how disciplined he is with money, and we'll have him in December come have conversations with us around how we can manage, make and multiply what we have in our hands. And I'm also looking at having, in December, I'm still going to have a conversation with him if he's going to be around, Barrister Lion as well, to come have conversations with us as regards some of these things. You understand? Now, the whole idea behind this mastermind is for us to build a community in Maryland. And then we have people in Texas saying that, KJK, come to Texas. We're not going to come to Maryland. So the next event you're going to be hearing from us is going to be in Texas. And then someone said, KJK, come to Iowa. Come to Iowa. I'm like, Iowa? I've never been there. They said, come. I have a community there. I want you guys to come have an event like this there. So we will be taking this across several states in Maryland, in the U.S., and but it starts from here. I'm residing here, and so I'm looking forward to us building that community. Join the mastermind, very important. Again, to everyone connecting online, joining us from everywhere in the world. I have people from Dubai. I know I have from Germany. I have from Canada. I know we have from the UK. We have a lot of people from Nigeria as well. So I want to say thank you so much, guys. And everyone who's taking time to stay up until the end, thank you. This is the Center for Real Impact that you've heard about. At the back, we have newsletters, but it's digital. It's newsletters. We have pictures of where we're coming from in the newsletter. We have our vision, our mission. We have the speakers on the newsletter. We have a lot of things on the newsletter. Just go there, tell them, give me the QR code for the newsletter, scan the QR code, download our newsletter. We have the mastermind. Someone came to me after the break that I want to join the mastermind, but it's not on the screen anymore. I told her, go to the stand there, scan it and have it. The world has gone digital, right? Again, thank you so much, everyone. I would love to have pictures with you. I'd love to have hugs with you. I'd love to have conversation with you. I'm privileged to be the founder of the Center for Real Impact International. And I send all of you love and hugs from here. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for coming. And bye for now. Sorry, please. On your way out, there is you can pick. We still have something for you to eat. On your way out, please grab something to eat. We have cakes. We have shawarma. Just pick something and drinks and all that. Thank you.